What's up, guys? ZFarls here with S. Gibbs. Just before we get started, wanted to make a note for Twitch and the YouTube crowd. If you subscribe to the Twitch channel, tonight we have special videos from Tweezy. That's twitter.com/BU_Tweezy. Longtime community member, runs the Browns offense like a champ. He flew in 3 videos. The gun split close you see us run all the time, the gun doubles, and the trips tight end. 10-plus minute videos. Him and Beezy took time out from their day, so make sure to check your Twitch inbox if you're part of the Brain Trust. And if you subscribe, email me, zfarls@maddentips.com. We'll get you set up with those videos, plus all the old content in the Brain Trust. Thank you. What's up, guys, and welcome to another exciting edition of This Week in Madden Show 180. And this whole thing has done a 180 on top of itself. We've got big stuff going on this week. Let's take a look at the rundown here. That's a spare chair for MUTGuru, who will be flying himself in for Team of the Year breakdown. Pour a little out for the goo on that chair, and we'll get him set up. But we have tips for you coming tonight. We've got the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Ready, locked, loaded. They're amped. People subbing left and right. It's been going crazy. We have Madden Challenge information for you. We have all the matchups. We're going to talk about last week's event. We're going to talk about the event moving forward. We're going to talk about Mike Scrape. We're going to talk about Team of the Year. We're going to talk about the Brain Trust with Tweezy. And we actually have, I think MUTGuru's coming in with a full Team of the Year squad. So you'll see every item in action tonight.
Need it.
Is what will be happening. Shout out to everyone in the chat, though. And if you have questions, remember, as always, tweet us at SGibbs7, at Madden Bible, from there.
Guys, happy Wednesday. This is one of the best days of the week. I know I appreciate it. I've appreciated it for 180 shows now. I know Farls does. We got great guys in the chat. We got 3 Steves, oldie but a goodie in the chat. Philly Chews here. TX Whispers, of course, Hold Fast Hope. Wolfman back, just doing Wolfman things. User pick for 6. Let's get into the show. I'm excited. Lego.
Well, we got a lot of gameplay tips coming up, but there's also a lot of off-screen stuff to talk about, too. So we'll jump right in. First things first, let's not waste any time. Team of the Year is here. And Russell Wilson's the quarterback. We got Doug Martin at halfback, Brandon Marshall receiver, Eifert Hopkins. We'll actually go over to Muthead here and take a look at those in a second. The defensive line is what intrigues me, so we want to actually go through those ratings, and that's what we'll do right now at Muthead. What are your thoughts initially, Gibbs?
I think that to do service to the Mutt in the Madden community, we got to break these guys down. We've got to give our in-depth options here. Obviously, we'll also be doing that on the Muttcast, but this is breaking right now. We want to go over who these guys are. My number one guy on this entire Team of the Year is DeAndre Hopkins. That's my guy. That is my guy.
That's your guy?
That's my guy.
All right, well, we'll get to him, and we'll talk about his role, what you can expect from him. But Russell Wilson is the quarterback of Team of the Year. He's got 92 speed, 86 play action. They got him to 90 deep with 96 throw power. He's had a 86 base elite, and he had a 90 football outsiders. Do you like this 95 Russell Wilson? His price is $400K at the moment. These prices are all going to come down, though, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely will fall. I mean, here's the thing. Team of the Year right now is super pumped. We saw a couple of guys in the chat already saying that he had a Tyler Lockett that was up for 80K. It's already up to 100K tonight. So the prices, as this is all new, they could fluctuate in this early stage. They go up.
Yeah, and one thing you don't want to miss is later in the show, and if you're watching tomorrow, when the goo gets here, we're going to talk about packs, how to complete the set, fluctuations, last year's Team of the Year, this year's Team of the Year, all of like the in-depth menu pricing, all of that jazz. Gibbs and I right now, we're going gameplay perspective, so don't sleep on that portion of the show, because that's huge.
Yeah, here's the thing. I like the Wilson. I obviously like what he brings to the table. It gives you a little bit of speed. You said something the other day about speed at the quarterback position and how it's losing some value because it's really easy to shut down quarterbacks if you want to.
Right.
So I think quarterback speed is something that is losing some of its glory. But this Russell Wilson, you take a look at it, his 400,000 K range. You obviously love his speed, his agility, acceleration, great. Love his throw power. I'm not excited what he brings to the table for his throw accuracy stats. For me, he's low 90s. I mean, I'll count throw accuracy short 89. That's low 90.
I want to see 90, though. I really want to see 90, and I believe it's going to help you with those table routes. Make sure you don't get a super inaccurate pass. I think it's the most crucial base rating for a quarterback is short throw 90. And so I think if you use him with short pass chemistry, you'll boost yourself up above 90 and you'll be okay. You'll just throw inaccurates. I think instead of very inaccurates, we'll check with RG on that. But that's one rating I want to see at 90.
You liked seeing 96 throw on the run, but I feel as though, again, you don't get in this situation where you're scrambling as you once were. We're not running PAN arounds as much as we were last year, right?
Right.
Very easy with the quarterback contains, quarterback spies. Click it, don't flick it on the quarterback spy has changed the game fundamentally and the value of speed at the quarterback position. It's still important, but for 400K, this Wilson doesn't cut it for me. Does not cut it for me.
We'll see where his price goes, and we'll try and guess once we do get some experts in the house on the pricing market. Doug Martin. Now, he's had 2 additions as well. He's had a 90, and then he had a Team of the Week also that was higher. This one, I thought he was going to keep progressing a little bit. He comes in really solid across the board at 94 speed, 94 agility, 94 excel, 96 carry. He's got very balanced, elusive, and trucking. I thought they were going to give him a little bit more, but I think this is one of the more solid items in the game. You do have superlative D'Angelo Williams that just came out, and you also have the David Johnson. Have there's a Jonathan Stewart somewhere in here that came out. So you've got guys with that whole 94. I like his balance across the board. I think he's going to be really good. He won't be premier priced, I don't think. And so I think he will get some value eventually.
Yeah, so if you take a look at his price right now on the muthead.com, $83K on Xbox One, $87K on PlayStation 4. The price for this guy is right.
Yeah.
If you take a look at what the price is for this Doug Martin, it's very similar to the David Johnson 91 overall Team of the Week. David Johnson has a little more top-end speed, but like you said, this Martin is very balanced.
Yeah.
But again, when I start looking at Team of the Year, I start looking at the 94 overall player. I don't get excited about this Doug Martin. I love the price, but my beef, 89 truck, 93 elusiveness. I need this guy to play like a 94 overall, and I'm afraid that like he's going to come out and play as like a value player. Like, oh, he doesn't get those broken tackles.
Right, but if you get that price for that, and I've heard Doug Martin because I've never really gotten excited about a Doug Martin.
Right.
But the Team of the Week, everyone would be like, I think like Jo, they'd be like, yo, Doug Martin's wicked good. He's like the best back I've seen since Dave Meggett returning punts for the Giants under Parcells. That's what Jo said about the Team of the Week, Doug Martin. So I think he plays above his ratings.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, he also has 96 carry. That is really good.
Yeah.
So where he becomes more value is now once more players with hit power start coming to the table. This Martin instantly gets more value because the 96 carry is really important compared to the Johnson is lower, it's like 90 range, right? And then he's got 96 juke, 96 spin, and 96 stiff arm. So that's where his value is you have to be better on the buttons yourself, and you can't rely on just having the 89 truck and 93 elusive. It's just getting those like random broken tackles running into people.
75 route running, 81
that's
catching
good.
Traffic. That's pretty decent.
That's really good.
That's pretty decent.
That's really good. 94 speed, 94 agil,
71
94
hit power, just in case.
77 catch. Listen, he's very good. I think my expectation for a Team of the Year player is I would like to see that elusiveness be at 96, and then I would be like, oh yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah, I wish they had given him either the speed a little more, the agility a little more, or the excel a little more. Just one or the other. I don't know what.
Right. I look at this and I compare him and say, this is is about as good as a Team of the Week David Johnson. So I think that's where I get not as excited because I'm like, oh, it's Team of the Year player. He's supposed to be, it's Team of the Year. He's supposed to be awesome.
But his price is making sense.
But his price makes a lot of sense.
Right. Shout out to Skimbo in the chat. We'll be talking about the Madden Challenge later in the show.
Here?
We got him
Let's go.
DeAndre Hopkins, you mentioned. You revealed him on Madden NFL Live the other day. Holy cow, 99-97.
Dude.
98 release. This is the best. This is like rich
GOAT.
man's Jerry Rice.
This is the GOAT.
Wow.
This is the GOAT. I mean, when you take a look at this Hopkins...
Not really much to say.
It's not much to say, and then when you look at his price for $600K on the market right now, it's close to 660, 700 on PS4. Like, he takes the top off the defense with his speed. He gives you some height at 6'1", 99 catch in traffic, 97 spectacular catch, and 96 route running. He wins everything.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the best receiver in the game right now. He's better than Vincent Jackson. The only way you'd say that Vincent Jackson's better is if you value height that much more. I don't think the height values that much more, in my opinion.
Slightly is better than the Jerry Rice. He's that Jerry Rice type guy. That's an amazing item in DeAndre Hopkins. That's team of the year.
That's team of the year.
Brandon Marshall, 99 catching traffic. I was really hoping they'd give him 100. I know they don't probably love to go up to 100, but he had 99 on his other item, and which was a team of the week that we really like for blocking, for strength, for power purposes. So if you wanted a good run blocker, you wanted a big strength guy who could also downfield one-on-one catch, B. Marsh was your guy.
78 run block.
Yeah.
That's very good. 82 strength.
I know,
He's pretty good.
But I wanted to see him go up from his next version, like to that next level. The release is amazing. The route running's pretty good. He's Michael Irvin, 93 speed, he's taller than Irvin.
86 truck.
I'd have to see the route running in action to see if he gets those sharp cuts on playmakers. Otherwise, he's going to be a one-on-one downfield guy. Put him on the outside so that he can run block. And hold
400K. How do you feel about the price range?
Tight end. I would say that's a pretty good price.
Pretty good price. So if you're going to get him, you would pay 400 coins for him right now. 400,000 coins.
I would pay. I'd have to check him against Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin. I know he's 89 speed.
Right, that's a big difference. 93 speed's a big difference.
Yeah, that's something you're willing to pay. Go up from 225 on Kelvin to go up to the next level. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to pay a pretty good amount. I'm going to compare him to Irvin and kind of make a decision there on that point. Tyler Lockett is a 99 kick returner. He's only 91 at receiver. He has 97 speed.
80K, 85K.
For 85K, that's a little much at this time. If he comes down 40K, he's a great kick returner. He's very fast. I'm sure he's very elusive. Not a receiver. He's a special teams guy and amazing at that.
Yeah.
I kind of knew that item was trending this way because of his release would kind of be off a little bit. So you can do some things with him, but he's not an every down guy unless your budget.
Listen, the issue with Lockett is you're paying for a price here. Yes, the speed. You're paying the 85K. But the route running is so low, he really limits how he can play.
Amari Cooper.
Right, correct. That's the problem because the Cooper exists. So the problem with this Lockett is, yes, he gives you that top end speed, but you're really going to be stuck having him in the slot because he doesn't have catch and traffic or spectacular catch, and you're going to be forced to just literally put him on either a vertical streak and hope it's cover one-on-one, or a drag every single play. If that's how you want to use him, he's going to actually be really nice for your scheme. But if you want him running posts, corners, this is not your guy.
Indeed. Now, I believe the Football Outsiders blog said that Gronk is coming on Friday for Football Outsiders because he had an amazing game, even though they were defeated. But Tyler Eifert gets the team of the year, and he's got 91 release with 93 catching traffic. Route running jumps up to an 85. He's okay strength, okay block shed, 96 spec. So 93, 96. He's 6'6". I think Gronk was definitely going to be higher than that, and he'll have a little higher route running, not up to 92, I don't think, and then Gronk's much stronger, although Gronk's last item was his most feared, which always, I think, is pretty strong, but his base was pretty strong too, so Gronk could be in the 90s for strength. Doesn't have the best run block, but this Eifert's pretty decent, and he's going for 100, if you can get him for 100K.
You see him 74 run block, 67 pass block. Again, when you start getting into more premium price for players, you start expecting them, especially this late in the year, like you need to get the guy that does everything for you. Eifert is very good. 93 catch and traffic, 96 spectacular catch. That's obviously really great. 89 speed is good. But you start to wonder, is 120K worth it if I could go out maybe use that extra coin to get a DeAndre Hopkins? That's kind of my question. And you could maybe have a more serviceable wide receiver at this point you could spot in there.
Offensive linemen, I don't know if any of them live up to the legends. Thomas has 96 strength with 98 pass block and 93 impact block. That's pretty legit. 93 run block. So he's pretty balanced across the board. That's pretty good. Iapati is still a run blocker, 97 strength, 97 run block. So you really only want him with his impact block if you're going to run the ball because 85 pass block
is
a little low. And like we said, Schefter, Starr, Greg Robinson is a pure run blocker too. I think he reflects this Iapati pretty good. So you grab a Robinson, you grab an Iapati, you now got the left side of your line set for run game, especially inside zone. Khalil, also a run blocker. I think he's the strongest center in the game with probably some of the highest run blocks. So he's a guy you want to get, once again, though, for run block.
Can you just explain why it's important to have a center with high strength like this? We talk about every year, but it's really important.
Yeah, so centers generally when they come out, they never really have high strength. They're not like tackles are 6'6" and they lift weights and they get all the strength ratings, whereas the centers are like skinnier, Jeff Saturdays of the crew, castaways, but they got the brains, and so they're not as strong, right? But the problem is you got Bruce Irvin going against a strong tackle. He runs right around him. And then you got Vince Wilfork standing in front of Ryan Khalil. Vince Wilfork, 99 strength. He pushes back base Khalil with 87 strength all season long. So you do need to get some strong linemen, because especially in the run game, you don't want to get pushed back. You're not going to get a shed up the middle, but you're going to get pushed back, and that's bad for your run game. But Khalil is there. This Yonda's also really good across the board. You could get Larry Allen legend if you really want run block, but this guy's got a nice balance and blend. And then Bulaga,
that's pretty good.
He's a pass blocker, but I think you can do better at right tackle because I don't like the 90-91 run game. But 92 in back block is nice. I would pass on the Bulaga for now. And go try and get a legend level, because there's a lot of good tackles that are legends.
I think that the number one rule here is if you're looking at offensive linemen, yes, you get some pretty good value, some of these guys, but don't overlook the Greg Robinson Schefter star, who is a dynamic player. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, when you're gonna give away some sheds to elite defensive linemen in the pass game, but you're gonna make up for it in the run game. Defensively, we'll run through this. Defensive team of the year, we'll go special teams real fast. Dan Bailey, I still think you go get Brandon McManus. Football Outsiders. Yep. Johnny Hecka.
Kind of good.
98 kick pass. He's dope.
72 speed, and that's kind of fun.
I think you get yourself Johnny Hecka, unless you want the Tom Brady to do silly things. All right, defensive left end. Muhammad Wilkerson. I've been waiting for Muhammad Wilkerson all my life.
Yep.
99 block shed, 94 strength, 97 power move. I mean, 80 speed with 88 excel. I think this guy is a very good run stuffer. He can rush the passer. He's right up there with the Reggie White if his price is a little bit less. The 99 block shed to me is super attractive.
I'll tell you what, Farls. For $170K, I can get you into a Muhammad Wilkerson today, before you leave this show today. And this is going to be one of the most important items you pick up on your roster.
Yeah.
80 speed. I would like to see his strength at 96. I just kind of expected that range.
That jump, right? Because the block shed was at 96. It jumped through, but the strength, was it at 91?
Give me the jump to the, and that makes him the complete item. But 99 block shed, 97 power move, you don't find that combo.
And if you need a sleeper because you can't pony up, on Friday, Derek Wolfe got a team of the week item. And I think he's not going to have this level of ratings, but he'll be close to stop the run with at end. And he's a guy, if you're having trouble stopping the run, especially outside on the edges, Derek Wolfe is a guy you want to look at his newest item that's going to come out.
Absolutely.
Geno Atkins diet, 97 strength, 97 power move.
But then 93 block shed.
So he's got the flip block shed.
It's reversed.
Similar speed. Which would you fancy? Do you fancy the Wilkerson? Or...
I think block shed's more important. The strength factor of getting pushed back or forward, winning that battle is very important. But the one thing is for sure, if your defensive tackle block sheds and he has no one in front of him, he's going to tackle your running back.
Yeah.
So block shed is more important, in my opinion. So I look at block shed and I value that as the utmost importance for a run-stopping D lineman.
Very low finesse move, and I think you're going to want to sub. You can get much cheaper strength and block shed. It's hard, and then you can get much cheaper power move in two players, right? So you could go get Danny Shelton, play him on rundowns, and then go get. There's gazillion players with 97 power move in this game at this stage. So go get a 97 power move guy your own that has maybe a little more finesse, and just play two guys. This guy's not. I mean, this guy's pretty good. He's better than he's good. 97.
Pretty good.
Take that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let me just check his price real quick. Price range we're looking at that makes him immediately not good.
Yeah,
450K.
he's too expensive
Too expensive at the moment. Too expensive.
Aaron Donald, 84 speed, 95 strength, 94 power move, 93 block shed. So I think the Atkins would be better than the Donald, unless the Donald really has Excel. Does he have Excel?
90 Excel is good, but
good.
We look at Chris Long, 91 overall, 97 Excel, and he's got 97 power move finesse move. So
get Chris Long.
This Donald's good. It's good, but for 140K, I'm definitely not taking Donald over
Aaron Donald,
Wilkerson.
He got an early team of the week. I thought he was gonna ramp up better. Like I thought he was gonna like Jamie Collins did the same thing. He got early team of the week, but then they got no items later.
Well, even Aaron Donald, you look at him and you say, "Oh, why is Aaron Donald good?" He starts the year out. He's one of always the fastest defensive tackles in the game. Unfortunately, now, like his speed hasn't progressed with the rest of like the game. So you look at his speed and you're like, well, 84 doesn't really get me excited anymore. Right. Geno Atkins is 82. Muhammad Wilkerson's 80. So now 84 doesn't look that impressive when you're not dealing with 72 speed Muhammad Wilkerson anymore.
Correct.
So that's where like now I'm like, hey, I'm kind of out on the Donald. 95 strength, 93 block shed. Like I get much more value out of Danny Shelton, most feared.
Right, to stop the run. He's tough at DT unless you really have a blitz.
But 94 power move.
Sticks a DT there.
94 power move.
Yeah. Ansa.
Call it beef with him.
Ansa, he has 98 power move. He has 96 Excel. This is a guy whose Football Outsiders came out. A lot of people knew that this was a guy that they wanted to target for their budget squad. A lot of people didn't fall for the big playoff legend that week. Or not playoff legend, but there was like a legend that week, and the smart money in the community was on Ansa. And now they get this item, and 90 speed, 89 strength. His block shed's a little low, but he's a pass rusher through and through. And if you want to send pressure, that Excel is pretty good. Plus, he's almost up to 80 finesse.
For 190K right now in the market, I love this item. I think the 90 speed, I think that the 96 Excel and 98 power move is like it's next level.
Do you think you wait till 150 and go Aaron Lynch 93 until then? Like, what's 93?
I mean, you could make arguments all day to go value players, but at the end of the day, if you have the coins, you have to start upgrading. So you eventually have to graduate from Aaron Lynch. And Ansa would be a good option for that. Also, some of the meta that you've seen from people play the Madden Challenge, you've also seen guys, actually both the Madden Challenge, Serious Mo and D. Jones. Two ways they play the game, and these are both guys, D. Jones went undefeated in his group stage.
Yep.
Mo went 2-1. They're both in the finals next week, the Madden Challenge in San Francisco. They both user the defensive line in a cover two-man situation. So if you go that meta, you go that route and follow in their footsteps, you put Ziggy Ansah at defensive end, use him in pass rushing situations. Now you drop him as a user at 6'6", 90 speed, and he's got 87 tackle. He instantly now becomes one of the better user defenders in the game.
Indeed.
I like the Ansah.
Jamie Collins, do you think he progresses, and what exactly does he do?
Listen, I'm a Pats fan. I'm a homer, like, through and through.
Yeah, no strength, no block shed. Does he have the zone?
I don't know. Zone? 90 zone, it's fine. Like
90 zone's very good.
It's very good, but get me into a Brandon Marshall. Can you get me into a Brandon Marshall?
Or Derek Brooks?
Get me into a Derek Brooks. Like, I don't know what he does.
He's not strong enough to be in the run game.
The biggest problem with Jamie Collins is, what are you?
Remember the KJ Wright that came out?
Yeah.
Maybe you get KJ Wright. If you're looking for budget.
84 block shed, not good enough. 90 zone, really good. If you could say, I'm going to get you into this Jamie Collins tonight, but he's got 85 man, bring him on.
But he's only got 77.
And 89 speed, like, I could go out and get guys that are faster already.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wonder, again, where does he fall into my scheme? Like, if I'm just like, but then there's also guys like last year. Remember J.O. in his New York accent was chirping to Jamie Collins.
So high.
The Super Bowl Jamie Collins.
Yeah.
So you try him out, you test him out, see how he got high pursuit. He's got high play rec. Maybe that's something that the combination is going to make him play well. But I don't get excited.
You'd have to keep him off the line, though, in that zone.
You
can't play him on the edge. You got to play him like behind your D lineman.
He has to be dropping into a flat zone on every play, and like you want that height and you want that speed and zone coverage.
Yeah,
that's really where he comes. He can't even really play man at this point. The man coverage is a little too low.
Yeah,
77 man, too low.
Clay Matthews jumps up to 88 speed. He's got 93 play rec, 80 zone coverage, 97 hit power. You know what that means. Computer hit stick, Clay Matthews. 86 block shed. 97 pursuit. I mean, this is a guy.
Problem again.
What's his cost?
126K. That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's still expensive.
He's decent. I think he's playing at middle linebacker, so that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
You got Luke Kuechly at middle linebacker.
Don't you
Unless you buy this guy and he computer hit sticks twice a game for you, 3 times a game, it's hard to justify him in the lineup because he didn't really. He's got 96 excel.
He does. He's got good zone too, good man.
And 97 power move, but you're not going to rush the passer.
You can't.
So how do you get him there as a middle? It's like
I don't know how we make this point known more to guys because I think people will look at this and say, well, why isn't the Clay good? He's good.
Yeah,
he is good. But when you can only play one outside linebacker in a 1-3-4 formation, you have one on the left and one on the right. That's it. You have to find the guy that does all 3 things. He can play coverage, he can stop the run, and he can rush the passer. When you look at Clay's stats, you can see he only can really rush the passer compared to other guys in the market with 97 power move, and then his strength and block shed, 86 strength, 86 block shed. So now he immediately can't play in running situations.
Right.
And that really hurts him.
For 100K, he's a good pass rusher, but
Aaron Lynch is like 1,000 coins, and he's got the same power move.
Right. He's not going to computer hit stick, though. I mean, you're going to get Clay for 100K if you can find him, and you're going to hope he computer hit sticks. And if he does, he's worth it. If he doesn't, he's not, because he can't always just rush the passer for you because there's better deals.
Correct. And don't get us wrong. He's a very nice item.
Yep.
Like, he's going to play well for you. What we're just saying is you're going to potentially find more value for your coin in other players. And that's what we want to help you out with, ultimately.
DeMarcus Ware, we loved his BCA early in the year. It had 90 strength. This D. Ware, remember the guy that terrorized the Patriots on Sunday? 82 block shed, always been kind of low. 97 excel, though, 95 hit power. I'm sure he has very high power move, and I bet he even has pretty good finesse. So let's see if Clay
79 finesse.
No.
It's 97 power. But his price.
Yeah, he's not a bad cost. 97 excel, 97 power move. So he's kind of better than the Clay to rush the passer. He's a little stronger, about the same strength. Block shed's a little lower. He can't really drop into zone as well as Clay, and he might not computer hit stick. So it's worth a check.
You gotta think that, like, if you are
the cost.
If you're saying I want to go after the Clay, you gotta consider maybe going after the Ware.
And if you get a Ware for 60, I know he's not there yet, but if you keep an eye on Clay and he comes Ware and he comes down to 60, you grab.
You grab it up.
The Shermanator. What did you decide about him on Madden NFL Live?
He is a scheme-specific corner. 93 speed's great. 94-man coverage, very good. But again, you could get more guys. I mean, right now for 600K, that's a very steep price to pay for this guy that he doesn't bring the elite man and zone to the table. He's obviously one of the best zone cover guys in the game with 99. He's tall.
His previous version made spectacular interceptions.
And he's very fast. He's got 85 spectacular catch. So yes, he's going to make some great plays for you. I just think that 600K is a little expensive for a guy that you're not going to feel confident in.
A couple Norman versions. You get Rondé Barber with 98 zone for 200K. I know he's doesn't have the agility or quite the height, but you're paying 400K less. Unless you want to really stack your defense, you could also maybe play this Sherman at safety potentially.
Yeah.
Because you just want to get that zone coverage on the field. You want to get Richard Sherman and that 99 rating involved in those catches and increase your chance to break it up. So I like him, like you said, too much at the moment, but depending on where he goes.
70 tackle. It's very good.
And him and Patrick Peterson are two of the best big hitters at corner. I know that because their wide receiver versions are the guys you want to sub in on your special teams to get great hit power.
Yep.
Him and Pat Pete, the receiver versions. Aqib Talib, not as good as the Sherman in any way, but for his price, is he a guy? There's just so many corners out there. He's pretty balanced. I like that he's up to 96 zone. I feel like that's a good threshold, but... Can
I just go back to the Sherman? So here's the example, right? Here's the Charles Woodson, 97 overall legend. He's going for 500K. The Sherman is 600K. You can get the Charles Woodson, 95 speed, so he's 2 points faster. One less zone coverage, but he's got more man coverage. So I think that for the coin, again, you see, okay, I can go get the Woodson, and he actually gives me some better stats to work with. Let the Sherman drop, and I think the same thing with the Talib. Like, very good. I like his size. Obviously love his press.
92 speed.
If you're going to play a lot of cover, like actual cover zero defense, and you want to use press, I think Sherman and Talib instantly become more valuable. But with the way you can play two-man and not necessarily worry about those things, I think some of the value from the Talib and the Sherman with those high press ratings that you normally would take into account lose a little bit of the value there.
You get the DRCs faster, more man.
Correct.
And you don't play as much zone. The Reggie Nelson, let's see what he clocks in at. 94 speed with 97 excel and 94 zone. It finally looks like the Glover Quinn gets replaced a little bit. He doesn't have the full play rec or hit power, which we kind of knew, but I mean, that's a lot of speed. That's a lot of zone coverage for a safety. That's most safeties. Even the Ed Reed, who's very expensive, only has 94 zone, I think.
Yep.
So Earl Thomas is the only safety with 96. You're never going to have the hit power, but that 97 excel is silly, and he's only 100K.
Great price. Great price. This is one of the best items in the Team of the Year whole set, right? This guy is the real deal
the Honey
for
Badger
the price.
People like.
Absolutely. But this price, very good, 100K. 94 speed in the 94 zone. That combo, as far as I was saying, you don't find that often, and those are probably the two most important ratings for your secondary, and then kind of hit power tackle come next.
All right, and obviously you want the Glover Quinn, but you could jump up to this Nelson pretty nicely. Cam Chancellor's the last guy here. He's a 97. He gets up to 93 speed, which for Cam Chancellor is about as fast as it's gotten.
85 agility.
That's very low. 87 zone. He's got 100 hit power, though. He's 6'3". Do you find a place for this Cam Chancellor in your lineup, Gibbs? Or
anytime you see 100 rating anywhere,
yeah,
you need to really consider. I mean, he's getting to golden ticket territory.
93 speed is fast.
It's fast. Like 6'3". If anything, you would say I'm going to pay the premium price. That's what makes me think this item's so compelling.
800 stacks.
He's 800K, but at 6'3", 93 speed, 100 hit power, you can't find that. Yeah, you can't. Like you got your legends, obviously, that you can go roll with, the Taylors of the world. But this, if you have the coin, it's worth it to test him out, specifically as a user. I would not let this guy run organically. 87 zone is not high enough.
You think Sean Taylor gives you a good chunk of the bang for the buck if you're going to use her?
Or
Night Train?
Let me see.
Night Train, obviously. Night Train might
Night Train's
not
not
he's
100.
He's still expensive.
The Sean Taylor 6'3", 94. Let's see.
He's
300K, so that's the problem, I guess. That's the problem. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
He got a little better.
He's a little better. The Sean Taylor's a little better for about 500K less. If anything, then you just want to try him out, see how he plays.
Yeah, I think it's worth testing out.
So Taylor's 80 strength, Chancellor is 79 strength. Okay, so there's Cam Chancellor 72 catch, Sean Taylor 77 catch. So that might be your answer there.
If you want that aggressive play.
Yeah.
But I want to get my paws on this game.
I want to try him out bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty saucy.
Yeah.
So that is our kind of Team of the Year gameplay. And once again, we'll have the Goo coming on later to see all these players in action. Because you guys mentioned it in the chat. It's not only about how they perform on the gameplay field. It's not just the numbers on the item. It's you got to test them in game. You got to see, do they get animations? Does that Richard Sherman do strange things? It's really kind of a big deal. So
Ronnie Lott's
look at him. 700K,
90 zone.
90 zone.
That's the difference. Good speed.
88
height,
agility also.
A little shorter, but he also gives you 82 man.
That's not nice.
That's good. 9 hit power. Again, when you see 3 numbers in a rating category,
right,
you got to try it if you can.
So we're back to the show here in Gibbs. We're going to check out the Madden Challenge. I saw this tweet from the EASPORTS Mud handle. They had a little schedule of what are the Madden Challenge matchups. This was from Madden Ultimate Team here. And so it looks like on Tuesday, February 2nd, live. The finals won't be till Thursday, but D. Jones versus Young Neff, Serious Mo versus Tenacious, Skimbo versus Shugs, Problem versus Boogs.
Yeah, I think the most interesting matchup out the gate, again, is literally game number 1. It's It's D Jones versus Young Nephew. This is a big time story with D Jones. He comes in undefeated. He's number 1 on the leaderboard.
83-game win streak.
He really looked like the best player at the tournament last week. And our questions about D Jones as a player, a competitive player, were could he handle the big stage?
Yeah.
And he put that to bed.
Yeah.
He said, yes, I can handle the big stage. It's crazy. And he has to come out again and show can he handle an even bigger stage.
Against a legend of the game, Young Neff. And I think...
a live audience.
Same thing, though. Young Neff, he's not a very talkative player. My concern for D Jones was if he had to play Sherm Sticky, not in his third game when he had kind of already got his momentum going and the whole thing wrapped up almost, it might have been a different game to walk into your first game, get intimidated under the lights. Young Neff's not going to talk. Young Neff's just going to play his game and show up. But if you don't think Young Neff is A, knows how to beat man, and B, is labbing to beat man, he's going to watch the tournament. Everyone's allowed to watch the twitch.tv/EASports. The recap, we've got a really nice recap that we shared. The Sanchez, he actually makes like a document with each game and then a timestamp where you just click the link and then it takes you right to that game. For all the games.
So right now, guys, in the chat, we're talking about game number 1 next Tuesday, February 2nd. It'll be aired live here on twitch.tv/EASports. You can see the schedule up on the board. Those are Pacific times. Let us know in the chat. Do you think that D Jones is going to win? Type D Jones if you think he's going to win, or type Nephew if you think Nephew will win that game. And here's what I think this is the most exciting game for me to watch, is that D Jones set the meta in that last tournament and said, I'm going to play man-to-man coverage. I know that in Draft Champions ranked, there are not that many wide receivers that have great route running. I'm going to go out there and play all man-to-man, and I'm going to make you find ways to beat my man-to-man coverage. And he went 3-0 with that idea.
A lot of people like Neff.
Young Nephew comes in, and Young Nephew, how does he play the game? He goes under center. He goes I form. He goes single back jumbo. He runs play action, halfback dives. That is the absolute worst matchup for D Jones in this situation because Young Nephew is the perfect.
He's not going to run inside zone.
He's not going to run inside zones, and he's going to just he runs a very simple offense. And D Jones is he goes into it expecting the offensive meta, gun bunch, pass heavy, aggressive catch. Young Nephew does not play that way. So it'll be really interesting to see how things play out in the first game of the tournament.
That's a big one. Serious Mo in the next game, tenacious. He quote unquote said he had the best offense in the nation. Was going to flood his first opponent.
Very good offense.
Serious Mo plays a similar style of D Jones, man to man. If he gets his squad, and Mo's seen it all. He's been to all the tournaments. He performed well in the event he was at, and that's going to be a good game. Two young guys, 21, 20-year-old Thundercats.
That'll be a great game between new upcoming guys.
Skimbo versus Ha Shugs. So Shugs, I know he probably was, if he's seen this, not pumped to play Skimbo, because Skimbo had one of the best gun bunch offenses going. If he gets that gun bunch, he's going to be very tough.
Skimbo looked, all the hype around D Jones. He went 3-0. He showed that, in theory, he's the best player out of Group A and Group B from our last tournament. But if you were to have to look at it from a schematic point, what was so special about Skimbo? His offense really was unstoppable. Yes, he lost one game, but what I really respected about the way he played was all the lab work that you could see that goes into it. He runs that gun bunch. He runs it like the back of his hand. He had plays and routes and combinations with everything he was doing, all his hot routes for every coverage he faced. And to me, that's a sign of a great Madden player. It shows lab work, it shows consistency, it shows grind, and it shows a love for the game. So I really like what Skimbo brings to the table. On the flip side, you got Shugs.
Veteran, just going to be ready.
Shugs just does things. And
I think they play each other. I know Shugs has mentioned, because I said, Shugs, who do you like after the Invitational event? We're going to have an open. Who do you like? And he said, Skimbo will definitely make it. So he's definitely familiar. I think they're familiar. So that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
They should know. A shout out from Jo. He said Skimbo is used to more of a 4-3, and he played with a 3-4 so he could get the Packers gun bunch.
Shout out to Skimbo.
Getting your playbook, it's something we'll talk about more and more, and you want to make sure you follow the channel. This channel, of course, the twitch.tv/EASports channel for Madden Challenge stuff. We'll talk more about it. We'll bring in RG to help out. But, you got to get your playbook. It's pretty crucial. Everyone that did get their playbook really performed well. Last game of the day will be Problem versus Bugs. Problem, he won the first event, he won the second event, he's the GOAT, he's reigning, he streams, he plays Draft Champions games. He's taking on Bugs, who, after a rocky first game, said, you know what, I have my Bengals playbook. Mm-hmm. I've got my divide play from the formation I love. I need to come through. I've been to tournaments. I've played in Virgin Gaming Challenge. I made it far in that. I'm cementing myself. RG, the second he saw Bugs, even just on the ranked leaderboard, said, I know this guy. Problem will definitely know who Bugs is. He is obviously going to be watching or have watched before. Any shot of it. I mean, this is going to be a great game.
Listen, if there's anyone that is set to go in and beat Problem, that's outside a young nephew. Because I look at everyone on that leaderboard in this tournament and I say, well, you got to go with experience. Bugs is just as experienced as Problem. He's been around just as long. You got to give Bugs a fighting chance in this game. Even yes, he's facing Problem, but if there's a guy that can do it, it's Bugs.
It's Bugs. Shugs had a shot. Mo had a shot. Problem came out on top of those games. They were close. They were close.
Yep.
But Problem definitely had the advantage. He had the patience. We saw Tweezy give Problem some trouble in the first half, but then you saw the brilliance of Problem, just like being calm, being patient, adjusting his offense in the second half, and just handling it. Whereas if some people, they get bogged down in the first half and they're like, oh man.
Yeah,
he didn't do that.
Listen, I don't want to jump in to conclude in new games or what we don't see on there, but the 7:45 slot, Game 3 versus Game 4 winner, I really think there's a shot you could see Skimbo take down Problem. Obviously, I love Bugs. I think Bugs can win. I think Shugs can beat Skimbo. But if you look at it, you're gonna analyze and you're gonna predict and project. I am most excited potentially to see a Skimbo of that high-powered offense going against Problem. You know the way Problem wants to play the game. He wants to play aggressive. He blitzes from that cover 2. He sends 5 or sends 6. Can Skimbo, with his gun bunch, get the routes on the field, and pick up the pressure and dot him up? We saw that's the way Skimbo played. And I find it interesting. I really think that could be an interesting matchup. My thing, though, is
he lets you dot him up until he doesn't let you dot him up. So, he's going to get some first downs. He's going to score 7. And then he just will take it away. But there'll obviously be a lot of familiarity there. All these players have been playing at a high level now. They've all had their games seen before because they've all streamed during the Madden Challenge. So we want to get your guys' information, your thoughts. We'll be using the hashtag Madden Challenge all week. I'll read your stuff on air, guys. If you have specific thoughts, I'd love to get your intel, your research, what you saw. Use the hashtag Madden Challenge.
Yeah, we can look at it.
Tweet S Gibbs and
during games. Yeah,
it's helpful because you guys see things and you guys have a lot of familiarity with these players too. Like we talked to them the night before, we talked to them all day, and but if you guys have old stuff with them, it's all good.
Quick shout out to a guy in the chat, G Homie. He just wanted a shout out, first timer. Say what's up, G Homie.
All right. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a very fun event, and we appreciate you guys' support. So so be ready for the event next Tuesday,
and then we go live on the finals at Madden Bowl on Thursday, February 4th. It's 7:45, the actual kickoff time for the games.
Let's go.
Let it go.
All right, let's jump in to another Madden Challenge question here. How was D. Jones so successful with his defense? That was one of the big topics people wanted to talk about. So let's see if we can come up with. We won't say. It's just a strategy. We don't know his exact setups. We don't know exactly what he was up to or wanted to do. But it was pretty clear he was playing a heavy man-to-man coverage style and kind of laying off the gas. Where we saw most guys blitz and be aggressive, he was playing passive. Similar to a little somebody I know.
Well, listen, we can show you exactly what he was doing here because we were able to go back, look at the tape, break it down, and analyze and see what he's doing to give you guys a lens of how he's playing the game. So he would come out in two quarters normal defense. I don't know, as far as I don't know the exact adjustments. Was he baselining, pressing? What was he doing? But what he typically would do is, if he was worried in a 3rd and long situation, this is where he really won most of his games. 3rd and long, he wasn't bashful to take this linebacker out of the box, say, Go ahead and run inside zone. He would drop this linebacker over here into a buzz and say, I'm going to take away that corner. And then he would take the D end, and then he would just rush the D end. A lot of times he would rush one, and sometimes he maybe drop this guy into a hook, or he'd drop him into a spy, and he would rush one guy at a cover 2 man.
So I think playing heavy man-to-man coverage is good, but you have to kind of support it with user coverage.
Correct.
What I noticed was Boogs, I think, had flashback Michael Vick, and he couldn't escape the pocket. And that's when I kind of realized, like, okay, mobile quarterback's good, but if you do get a spy out there, you can be in trouble, and you've got to kind of learn to use it and take it away. So you guys know I love to play, like, heavy man coverage and make you beat me down the field because, yeah, you can complete a pass like that. And everyone, people ask us all the time, Farls, how do you beat man coverage? How do you beat, we always say, what do we say? Drags, C routes, playmaker, corner routes. Sure, that's 4 ways to beat it. But once you've used those 4 things and you've kind of shown your formations and your tendencies, well, now they can go take that stuff away, right?
Well, what did we talk about on a couple shows ago? The truth about pass defense, right? It really is the truth. Like, listen, man-to-man beats... Man-to-man gets beat by specific routes, right? Man-to-man doesn't necessarily get beat by a vertical, right? It doesn't get separation. Curls don't get separation from man-to-man.
You can run against this, but it just... In 3rd and 12... You
gotta be patient. 3rd and 12,
you can't...
you got the stones to run on 3rd and 12 an inside zone when you're playing for 50K.
He users pretty well. He was able to slow down some of the inside zones. You guys will get a block shed every now and then. He's willing to give you the run. He's not saying this is great run defense. He's just saying it's good enough run defense. That's what I say.
Right.
And when people say, well, you can't stop. Can you stop the run for Big Dime? I'm like, not really. I actually kind of make them run when I call Big Dime, and that's kind of what I want.
So here's the other thing that I noticed they did, and RG actually talked about this on the MUTcast. So he would say, okay, I see the running backs on the right side of the line of scrimmage, and this is something we've talked about previously as well.
Yes.
When you set up inside zone.
We showed this tip from Big Dime, RG's specific setup to stop it, where he pinches the backers. It's on YouTube if you guys need it. YouTube.com/ZFarls.
So what he would do is he would take a look at what's happening, and he would grab the DN on the weak side or on the strong side of the run, and he would say, listen, if you're going to run inside zone, I'm going to make you cut it back. Because if you look at this front, it's still going to be bogged down on the side where you're going to get the most yards. Like, if you can run this run up the middle, or you can cut it left, and that's where you get most yards. But cutting it back, still a bad proposition. Because look at the tight end. I got 2 defenders on the right edge there, so it's still like stout run D with the way he was running it, because he was always taking the strong side D end, which ultimately really wasn't hurting his run defense that much.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It worked well enough. So people were interested in seeing that, because I think instantly on the broadcast you can kind of see, like, wow, this guy's doing something that everybody else isn't doing,
Right.
So it was fun to see him play that way and to kind of show up like he was number 1 on the leaderboard. I personally overlooked him because I didn't recognize the name. But when he showed up, he played. And now that's a name you're going to remember.
And this was something else he did too. He would hide behind this other linebacker here. And then if it was a run, he would come down and he would just kind of get muddy. Like, he'd just get in there and get muddy. And, like, safety's coming up in the box. Like, so you would run against them and you only get 3 or 4 yards, right? So and that can be a frustrating experience. That's where I think Neff has a real shot.
So go back and check that out if you guys want to see more of his gameplay and, know what to expect when you check it out. Next Tuesday will be the D. Jones. Last question here on the Madden Challenge is, how did Rumble play defense at the Madden Challenge?
Love it.
Everyone on Twitter was really... I wanted to try and get Rumble on the show. I know he's taking a little break off of Madden, plus he's got a hurt leg. But Rumble was doing something very unique on defense, and I think it will, maybe we could share it and, eventually get him on to elaborate with it.
Yeah, so take a look. The way Rumble was playing defense, he came out a quarter 3 deep formation. It's in every single playbook. That's the nice thing about it. And he actually came out. He might have changed his coverage up, but the play got the big pick against Tenacious in the flat. It was in prevent. And we can dive into why he was doing that after we show you exactly what he was doing that was so unique about it. He was creating a 5-man secondary. And we haven't seen this. I personally haven't seen this since Madden 25 when Hush Suggs was doing this. It's been a defense in yesteryear, and it makes sense. That's why Rumble was running it. So what he was doing is he'd come out in this quarters 3 deep, and he would base a line twice, it's show blitz twice. Here it is. 1, 2. And what ends up happening is he gets a 5-high safety look. So look at this. See how the safeties are stock deep? What ends up happening is he would use this middle linebacker. He's got 2 hooks on the short part of the field that give you somewhat good protection. And then he's saying, I'm going to not let you throw aggressive catching.
Right.
That's what makes this defense so interesting.
Or PA shot wheel.
Correct. So 5 corner safe deep gives you a good chance to stop aggressive catching downfield, especially if you don't have the hogs to run it, which makes it interesting to me.
Right. You got to draft a certain way to. So that's what Rumble was up to, and I think that's another thing where he wasn't blitzing like everybody else. He was just kind of playing his game and doing what worked for him. He mixed up his defense. This one wasn't the only thing he called, but this was the most notable because you really saw those safeties across. NCAA football had something like this. Like West Virginia had it, like 4-2-5, but stacked. But the dudes would all
Virginia Tech
like
also had it as well. So what I also think he was a couple times, he would drop these 2 safeties here. Let me go to the right. So it would look something like this, or it could be like this, right? Or he would man them up
because he got to pick in the flat.
Right. So he was doing a lot of different things with these corners. And again, it's just what was good about it is that it gives you a really unique look, and it's something different. And it's you get into the situation, and you panic. Because you're like, oh my gosh, I've never faced a 5-high look. What does that even mean? What's going to happen here? And that's where it was. I thought it was really cool to see. He had a lot of success with it, and I really was hoping that he was going to get a chance to show it again in the Madden Challenge Finals. But
yeah, a shout out to Rumble. He was 2-0, and I think everybody thought because he was 2-0 he was gonna make it in, but. There was some guys in his group that were playing good. Madden Skimbo was in there, and Tenacious really fought back hard after his first loss. So Rumble didn't make it on point differential, but he's a guy, like Gibbs said, he'll be back. He's been around a long time. He has really, really good lab partners, and really enjoyed talking to him.
Loved it, yeah.
He's from Indiana, just like a super, super nice guy, and definitely more of what the community is about. I really enjoyed hanging out with Rumble at the challenge, and his defense was cool too.
Real quick, something that something that you want to note about this defense. So if I use this middle linebacker, I'm going to have for the most part kind of weak run support. But the second I go and use this safety right here, my run D actually becomes really, really stout because I'm going to have 7 defenders in the box to make a play. So that's one thing to note. Like you might think, well, you have 5 highs across. That's not really good run D. But when you get 7 guys in the box, you got to remember the run defense is about numbers. Yes, it's about staying in your gaps and having great gap control, but it does also come down to and boil down to literally numbers. Do you have enough numbers in the box to go hat in a hat with the offensive line and the blockers?
Totally.
So this defense can be pretty good run defense.
Indeed, good stuff. And also. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Remember, guys, tonight, if you're in the Brain Trust, you do get a look at Tweezy's offense. That's BU Tweezy. Click on his name in the chat. Follow not just his Twitch, but his Twitter. And Tweezy runs the Browns offense. I started running the Pats at the beginning of the year. Tweezy runs the Browns. It's similar. Gibbs then ran the Browns with Tweezy's extra setups. Then Gibbs added his own setups. So people have been like, hey, can we get the Browns? And I'm like, well, it's not really ours to share. Like, we already put out Pats. Tweezy got his own thing. Gibbs is Frankenstein this thing. Like, I don't want to touch that because I don't feel cool about it. But Tweezy, stand-up guy, just comes in and is like, hey, I got no problem sharing it with the community. So big shout-out to Tweezy for coming up with 3 videos for Brain Trust guys, gun doubles, gun split close Browns, and trips tight end. Him and also Beezy, who's this guy who's worth a follow on Twitter too. So very cool for him to share. Keep an eye out for it in your Brain Trust. We got that seat warm for the Guru.
It's warm in here, so
it's very warm.
It's very warm in here. And it's not even game of the week time.
Warm. N4R, and I didn't just put this in because he was nice. He said, how to get picks near the line of scrimmage like ZFarls. He said, whenever he watches me play, he ends up seeing me like jump up and user and make great plays. So could you maybe show how they do that? How I do such amazing things? That's a real question. I did not make that up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you're the guy that makes the amazing plays. You mean care to explain how you do it?
Yeah, I don't mind. So I think what's super important is you got to play man-to-man coverage. So say you man up, you play man coverage, and you're then going to have an extra defender. If you have a 3-down line, we'll reset this bad boy because I think this is super important. This is pretty crucial. So how can you get picks near the line of scrimmage like ZFarls? So you get like a nice jump. So you want to call 2-man under, cover 2-man from any 3-down line set. And anytime you do that, $326, 326, big dime, you will have a free player, basically. You should always have one player who's not doing anything. Normally, he'd be rushing if it was a 4-down line, but it's not. So now you have a free guy. And so now you got to think, well, what can beat me? Well, a drag to Owen Daniels could beat me. A drag to Norwood could beat me. You know, a route out of the backfield could beat me. But basically a corner route to Owen Daniels could beat me, and a drag. So what I'm going to do is at the snap of the ball, look and see, like, drag Norwood, and then I'm going to watch Owen Daniels. So watch. So at the snap of the ball, I'm using, because I know I might have to go to the corner. I see it's not a corner, and I want to get underneath, and basically that. And so Gibbs gave me a gift right there, but I'll tell you what I saw and why I end up getting interceptions like that. You want to definitely get underneath routes to increase your chances of user pick. I hold Y. I hold Y hard. I hold it the whole time. I don't tap it. I don't press it. I don't look at it. I don't touch it. I hold Y as soon as I think the ball is going to be thrown. That's when I do it. So at the snap of this ball, right, Owen Daniels goes to the flat. And now I all of a sudden know, like, that's not a route that's beating man. Anytime you see the tight end go to the flat like this, the route that's going to beat man is a corner strike, because those routes are paired together. They're never not paired together. So I instantly know if it was a corner route, which is going to beat me, and I would have had to go to the corner and get underneath it to get that pick, it's going to start straight at me. And if it started straight at me, I would just back up. But once I see it go there, I can vacate. Now I see the drag. I don't want to cover this drag. If I strafe, I can't run as fast. I'm strafing, so there's no way I can run with this drag. So the only way I can take it away is to get underneath it. Because if I want to stay in front of it, I'd have to not strafe, and then it's really hard to control your guy. So what you want to do is then strafe, you hold the left trigger, and you just want to get on an angle with the quarterback where if he throws it, especially helps with pressure coming in because he's got to get rid of it. You just want to get there, hold L2 and Y. The taller, the better. And look, the game, I'm slowly losing the window on this defender, but by me holding Y, it gives me a catch, and the bigger, the better. And so that's why I really like 6'5" guys, or, over the 6'1" Shazier, I like the 6'5" bar, because I think you get these better over catches like that. So that's kind of how you have to use her, but you need to have a free defender, and that's what the 2-man with the 3-down line gives you, is that free, because I don't have to be anywhere. If I leave my play like this, and I got to use her this guy here, give me a drag across the middle to Owen Daniels, right? Like, I'm hesitant, and give me a streak to Anderson out of the backfield. Like, if I'm in zone and I'm supposed to be playing this deep middle, watch this go. And then I track Daniels. Well, now you got RB wide open. Now I was supposed to be there, and blah, blah, blah. So I like to have a guy that's not doing anything. And I think that is the best way to get a lot of interceptions. So hopefully that tip helps you guys out.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got
not a lot of work for me to do on that one.
Another question in the mailbag. This is what we were talking about earlier from Tweezy. It's the gun doubles, the gun split close Browns, and finally the trip side end. Gibbs, of those three, what are your favorites, and what tips that Tweezy gave you helped the most, and how have you adjusted from it?
It's really the gun split close, and it's the play XY drag trail, which at the beginning of the year you dubbed as the best play in the game.
Yes.
And the reason for it is so many different route combinations, and that's the key to the whole scheme success. There's so many different unique routes, and really what Tweezy showed me was the ability to have delayed route concepts. Mm-hmm. And this is something that actually has helped advance my game, and it's actually something that I personally was never doing. And it's the idea of having delayed route concepts to attack zone coverage. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we use brute force when we attack zone. So if you go to Z spot,
Yes.
And if you come out in zone, we can show you what like an immediate zone beater would look like, and then we can talk a little bit about what a delayed zone beater would look like, and that's what's really helped me a lot this year. So an immediate man beat or zone beater is what you see on the right: a streak to Thomas, a flat to Anderson, and Daniels. And that's because if you see a hole in that defense, you can immediately throw it, and that is usually the corner out or the flat pattern. If they blitz from the slot, then it's the flat. If it's just regular zone and they're not using it, then it's the corner, and that's the immediate beater. Now, what Tweezy's introduced as specific routes from that gun split close, it's a lot like, say, Norwood here. This isn't the route, but Norwood is on this like deep cross. And what ends up happening is the snap of the ball. Like, you take away that immediate route, but then ends up happening is that delayed read is so difficult to stop. And that is my moneymaker. And that's where I've been able to make a living this year playing the game.
And you see it when you throw to Tony Gonzalez and it's delayed and he comes all the way back across the field.
Can't defend it. Too hard.
When I was like looking for my initial setups for the play, because I knew the art on that play was good. I saw that play in the menu before the game came out. I'm like, that's a good play. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know who or what or why. And then you call it, and the middle was getting taken away. But all of a sudden, I would start to play games. I would play Mole. He wouldn't rush anybody. And I would roll to my left with Russell Wilson. And Jimmy Graham all of a sudden would be flowing. And he would get to the other sideline, and he would be wide open, and he'd be behind the flat zone. And I'd be like, oh, my goodness, this play's great. And it's hard to then put that in a setup and say, hey, your sixth read, by the way, is if you roll out left, look for Jimmy Graham. He's going to be behind there against cover 3, because it's something you got to learn over the course of a game, and over the course of it's a feel, right?
Right. Well,
and so it's hard to learn those delayed zone beaters, but they're super, super important.
Well, listen. Here's the thing: is over the years, I feel like we joke around and we'll say, "Oh, Gim's mastermind has seven adjustments to every play. Make sure you have 7 reads on every play."
Right.
It's funny until you get into a game and you're playing for $20,000, the Madden Challenge, and then you're like, oh, snap, they took away my first 3 reads. I now need that 4th and 5th read. Like, it's fun in games until then. And then you're like, wow, I need that. And that's why when we teach you guys to play the game, we really want to teach you the full scheme. And the full scheme a lot of times is you do need to have 6 reads on one play.
Right.
And why are you making all these hot routes every single play? And you do it that way so that when it comes down to crunch time, you're a robot. You're just thinking. You're just going. There's no time when you're playing in a Madden Challenge game. There's no time to think, oh, man, what was the 6th setup? I forget what if you are thinking that, you've already lost.
So there's an angle route on Extract Trail, right? The left side's on an angle. I like to throw that quickly, or I used to like to throw it quickly. I don't really anymore. But it always breaks back across the field, and it's the late read, and I never make the late read. I never make it, and everyone always goes, the angle was wide open.
Yeah.
But I look away from the way the read goes, because you want to find the deep guy going this way, the Tony Gonzalez route going this way.
Yeah.
That once I pan, I never see the angle route cut, so I never look. I never throw it, so it's a completely useless route to me, even though it's good. It's because I never practiced it. In the heat of the game, it's too much to be like, is it open?
I'm going to count the number of reads that happen before the best read on the entire play. And it's the read that I go to the most from the formation, but there is 1, 2, 3, and then like 3.5 reads before. So it's about your 4th read on the play in terms of like route progression that is the most difficult to defend. So really think about what that means. What that means is that you have 3 other routes that you want to throw before your best route.
Totally.
Is that not that is what this is. That is what Tweezy's going to show you in this brain trust. It's the gun split close. It's from the Browns playbook. It could also be from the Patriots playbook. Listen, I have played Madden for a very long time. This is one of the better offenses I have ever seen when it comes to just straight raw passing.
Yeah, if you really want to pass the ball, it's a different way to play. I kind of stopped running from the Colts, and I've had more fun since I changed to the Browns because it allows me to pass the ball more. I would say I lose a little more. I'd say 1 in every 8 games instead of 1 in every 10 games. Like the Colts was just like brute force. Like my lineup's better than yours. I'm just gonna run the ball until you get annoyed and run the shovel option, and it's fun. It was 100 games was great, but it was time to like move on from that. And even though it meant losing a little bit, it meant opening up my pass game more, learning more reads. You can always go back to the run stuff. You can't always go back to the pass stuff. So if you really like to pass the ball, it's very fun.
This offense is just the straight truth about what it is, right? This offense, if you're listening now and saying, okay, I should probably check this out. This is not for you if you are like literally a beginner player and you're going to get overwhelmed because you are going to have to learn how to make 4 reads.
Right.
And this is just one play, by the way. We're talking about multiple plays from the videos he's showing. But the best play, in our opinion, the best play, you need to be able to be at a point where your game is at the point where you're ready for those 4 reads and you're ready to be able to take your game to the next level. This is an offense that isn't going to help you win games on rookie or pro or all pro. It's going to help you win on all Madden.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to want to stick with the brain trust. I would say the Bucks free scheme, the Bucks free running scheme mixed with the passing plays from the brain trust. Or you want to go through M-Stack's Titans offense. That's 6 videos, and that's going to walk you through everything. And it does get advanced, but it kind of ramps you up. Where this is the advanced stuff. You guys have been seeing us running it, and you guys have just been asking, so I felt like we needed to deliver, and Tweezy came through for us. So make sure to give him a follow and give him a thanks. Great guy to have in the community.
Thanks. Well, what's his site? I always forget.
Madden Coaches?
Madden Coaches. Check out Tweezy over there, maddencoaches.com.
And Big for Beezy to
Big for Beezy to help out as well.
Help out also. Okay, so we got that out of the way. We got a couple more questions in the mailbag. See if the Goo texted you. We'll see if he's coming by, hopefully.
I got no text from Goo.
All right, he'll show. He's the Goo.
He's the Goo.
He's probably beard bombing.
He's probably just...
He's probably putting balm.
He's probably massaging that beard,
he's probably putting balm on his beard. How, from Floppy Divock, how to play zone and shade if you don't know the route concepts that are coming. So he's calling zone coverages. He doesn't know what route. And so I got an answer to this question.
It's a good question. This is a next level question.
So if you don't know what route concepts your opponent's going to use, like cover 3 is going to lose to this route concept. It's just science. Like you can either hit the flat, hit the corner. So if you don't know what routes are coming, well, what you have to do is dictate your shading, which is very important, based on down and distance. So Y, down on the right stick. And that's going to shade your zones underneath. That's going to stop the halfback in the flat for a big gain, but it's going to leave the corner wide open. So on 3rd and 2, well, that's where you want to go. You want to slow down that. If it's 3rd and 12, you can't get beat by the corner, but you can get beat by the flat and just make a tackle. You're going to push Y to shade your zones, flick up on the right stick, and hopefully that zone's going to drop more towards depth, and make a play on that. So you saw just by shading... You didn't use it either. No. Just by shading our zone coverages, based on down and distance, you might not know, like I said, you might not know the coverages or the concepts they're going to use to beat you, but it's the same thing with 4 verticals, right? Like 4 verticals, if you want to stop the deep route to the tight end or whatever, you would shade over the top on 3rd and long if you think that's where they're going to throw. And if it's, 4th and short or whatever, and they're going to maybe go to the halfback or they're going to call a drag, you'd want to shade your coverage underneath or use sticks. And so that's the best way to go about it, because if you do the exact route combo, you would do that, right? That's locked in. Correct. So like if you knew the exact route combo and they were running it all game and you had to make adjustments, you would probably do this. But
like that right there without shading wins.
But what happens there is
it takes time.
Well, no, and then just run a streak to like
I'll just do this.
Right. Right. Like you're going to be in trouble there. So if you don't want to give that up, but you're still trying to shade to like be more effective, that's what's going to help. In protecting the sticks is going to say, hey, where is the first down marker? Press Y and then LB, and it's going to put it there. So if it's 4th and inches, they're going to play down. If it's 4th and 20, they're going to play way deep. So it's a very good adjustment.
All great and important tips to add to your game. A lot of times I would say, you want to get your game to the next level. You're probably not using these tips. This is a great starting point. Start using shading.
Indeed. It's huge. It's clutch. And you should be, honestly, we've said it before, but you should be shading on 80% of your snaps.
Yeah.
If you're a new player who's calling a lot of zone coverage, if you're calling cover 3 because it looks safe and you think it's good, you really should be shading, depending on down and distance, 80% of your snaps. You should because you know why? It helps you get a guess. What is my opponent going to do?
Yeah.
Do I think they're going to throw short, or do I think they're going to throw long? If I think they're going to throw long, over the top. If I think they're going to shade underneath. And that will help you get a spider sense.
A very good play to use for beginners out there if you go to formation. And you could find this in any playbook. So just go to the quarters. This is just going to give you a good base defense. Go to quarters and go to cover 4. Rule of thumb, if you're a beginner and you don't know where to go to quarters normal, go to the cover 4 play that Farls just picked, and just live in this, right? And play over the top coverage, like you said. And the idea that you're thinking here is, I'm going to just get destroyed in the run game, but I'm not going to let them get any big passing plays on me.
Right.
And the most terrifying thing that I find facing is this right here. I hate facing someone that just drops all these guys in the coverage, over the top coverage, and they make you throw this route right there. They make you throw to the flat.
And people go, well, how do you beat cover 4? And there's ways. You can playmaker a guy back up the middle. You can throw to the flat. You can run the ball.
This is how you beat cover 4.
You can do a lot of things, but then they're like, well, how do I beat cover 4 when it's 3rd and 20 and I'm losing by 14 and need to chuck it downfield? It's there's not really...
There's nothing.
You get lucky?
Well,
one-on-one catch.
You need the funky hot route. You need the funky routes,
right?
Or you need route combinations. So it look like this is how you really kind of probably beat it. You need one vertical to the tight end.
Right.
You need a post underneath, and you need a vertical on the opposite because you'd be trying to get underneath the deep zones, but then deeper than the hooks. So it does become a route concept game, but it's a very difficult route concept game to do, and it's not high percentage at that point.
Indeed.
Shouldn't be completing many 3rd and 22s.
Right, you just don't see it that much in...
It worked right there. You saw it right there.
There it was. Yeah. So it does exist. It's just not consistent. So that's a good one right there. Shout out to the chat. We got Tree Frog coming back in with the sub hype ASP subbed. And we got a little man joining the chat named It's Me, that MVP, Ropey30. I'm going to drop a hot tip on my YouTube, and I'm going to spit maybe
Guess what?
A rap verse.
Guess what? Ropey30, we present to you this sword of power. Use it wisely. Welcome to the eternal club of the moderators.
Yes, remember, judge man by their deeds, sir. Mm-hmm. And it's a heavy sword, but you look like Thor, and you can probably handle it. Another guy that wants to get some action is Mod Mayo. Mod Mayo's looking to...
Mod Mayo
was like the only mod here, and he's like, I'm your guy. I'm like, I think S. Gibbs will handle that for us. If you guys want to give W Muni 600 seconds, you can. All right, next mailbag question we've got from Mangus Allen. How can a new player learn tournament play? What are 3 tips? So this is a really good question, too. How can a new player learn tournament play? What are 3 tips? Mangus, you want to do a couple things. One is start to play the best competition you can find. You want to lose games. It's going to make you better. It's a pain in the neck. But when you play those better players, I know anytime I play Mole, anytime I play Zan, anytime I play Gibbs, anytime I play RG, and it's going to make me better. And because I'm going to learn, I'm going to pick up all the things they do, and I'm going to basically borrow them for my game. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to make you better. Second thing is, make sure you're playing the right modes, right? Play whatever the tournament's going to be on, the difficulty, the mode, draft champs, MUT, whatever the tournament is. Is it play now teams? You got to get in that world. You got to kind of play offline. Go with the rules is my second tip. Lastly, have fun. I mean, that sounds goofy, but you really can't be nervous because being nervous is going to make you want to play less. So you just got to be fun with it. And I think what impressed me so much about the newer guys is they showed up to these tournaments, and with the power of the internet out there, everything is out there. But what I would say is before you showed up to a tournament, you wouldn't know what other players were running. You might get to the first event of the year and be like, wow, everyone's running inside zone. But now you've seen the game online, and you're like, oh, everyone runs inside zone. I can run inside zone, or I can run this blitz or that blitz. You're ready for everything. Everybody at that tournament was like, I can pick up Mike's screen. It's easy.
Right.
If no one's winning with that.
That's
the fine.
Best thing I heard.
But you might have driven 14 hours to Atlanta in October and just showed up at a tournament in Madden 06 and somebody's running Mike Scrape, you're like,
it's over. Tournament's over.
Go home, figure out how to stop it, and then at the next event in December, you get a second chance. Maybe it worked, maybe it doesn't. And then in January, you get to go to one more event.
Right.
But by that time, they're running something new. And then
the meta's changed.
And then you get to go to one more event in April at the end of the year. And good luck. So the new guys literally used to stink because nobody in the good crews would let them see what they were doing. And then they show up and just get beat. And they'd have to come back later. And like they'd have to go through like 2-3 years of like, okay, I'm good. I show promise. Teach me the ways.
I would say the biggest,
but you don't have to do that now.
The biggest advantage that you guys now have in this Madden Challenge world compared to yesteryear is exactly what Farls was saying there. It's you, for the most part, especially people that watch this show, watch the MUTcast, watch Madden Coaches Tweezy, Madden Daily. You guys have just about as much information as the best players in the world. Like there's not a lot that they know that you don't know.
Right, that you can't figure out with a little work.
Right, and listen, what makes Problem is, yes, he's going to have some things that, Problem knows or the way he plays the game. But
he's good at figuring them out.
Right, he's going to figure them out. But for the most part, you're going into the game knowing about 95% of what the best Madden players in the world know about. Whereas you'd go into tournaments before, even back in our heyday, we'd go, Madden 08, Madden 07, Madden 09 time frame. Like, you'd go to the tournament, and like you said, you'd have no idea. You had an idea of what people might run, but not like it is now. So I would say just feel confident that by watching these shows, by becoming part of the community, hanging out in streams, feel confident that you are indeed a Madden expert, because when it really comes down to it, if you're watching these shows, you're a part of these communities, you really are the 1% of Madden players in the world.
Right. And
allow that to give you confidence, because I think a lot of times we all underestimate ourselves, and we all think that, man, I'm nowhere near as good as ZFarls. But maybe you don't have the same knowledge as Farls when it comes to like playbooks and whatnot, but again, you're close enough,
right? And
to
you
compete.
Know what I call.
You're close enough to compete.
You got to get there with the user. You got to get there with like the concept reading. But you get 80% of the way there. Like, you definitely beat me.
Right. Everyone's beatable. Everybody's beatable, especially nowadays. Everyone's beatable.
For sure. For sure.
Have confidence in yourself, boys. We have confidence in you.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more questions to go. Should you sell your team before Team of the Year? This question obviously was before Team of the Year came out. Should you sell your team? Are you into that? Do you get rid of all your players? I mean, that's a real question for the chat.
I've never done it.
Question for Shira's in the chat. He always has the latest items. Jo probably does this particular thing. Like they know, they kind of try and figure out when the promos are coming out and be one step ahead of it. So
yeah, listen, I don't necessarily concern myself with that. Listen, that's not the part that I enjoy about MUT. It's just not. Like, it's a work in the auction house, trading players, building my team. Like, that's always been secondary for me.
Right.
What's always been most important for me is building my squad to what I need specifically for my schemes. I enjoy that, and it's like once I get to that point where I feel great about my team, I just kind of tinker the rest of the year and upgrade. Right,
and you never know. Like, Team of the Week, people, A, they didn't know when, B, they didn't know how much, C, they didn't know like if the items were going to be good or not. So, if you sold your Randall Cunningham Freeze thinking a better Team of the Year Cup was coming, maybe not true.
Goo?
Yeah, this is a tough room to get served, and that was my concern with it. Best coverage out of the 46 playbook.
Goo?
Do we want to talk about S. Gibbs losing to MJD and the Pats losing while he's not here? Gibbs?
It's the goo.
The goo.
It's the goo.
The goo. Let me move this stuff a little bit.
It's the
goo. Good.
I'm out there watching you guys on my phone.
Are you?
Texting and watching. And
we don't get service in here.
They're going to answer the door.
We don't get good service in here, Goo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Goo.
You got this TV here if you want.
Was Farls saying bad things about me?
Either. One of the best.
At what time?
Just now. He was. I can see the chat.
Goo, how do you think Do you think you should sell? This question was asked yesterday, so obviously it's not valid now. But like, how do you feel about when you should you sell your team potentially before you think a promo is going to come out? Is it too risky?
That's what it's all about, my friend. That's what separates the boys from the men, is knowing when to do that.
Is
right?
that not the exact opposite of what I just said?
Yeah,
Kinda.
Wow, that's like that really shows you how you can enjoy MUT on many different levels.
Absolutely, man. But that's it. Like, I mean, it's all high risk, high reward. It's all about kind of like working the auction house. You're working the promos, right? You're like, you know, where was it at last year? What did they do? What were the overalls? You know, and all that plays into like, I think the meta and the mystery of MUT, right? Like, high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
There you have it.
You got it from the good.
All right, let me address something real quick. Guys, I did not throw the game against MJD. I lost. I lost.
Quote
I really did.
from Gibbs. Quote from Gibbs.
I just lost.
I tried to win that game as hard as any game
Ever.
in my life.
Ever.
Said after the game.
Listen, it was 14 to...
I know you bring power.
I did not.
Okay.
Listen, it was 14 to 3 in that game. I had the ball,
I didn't bring.
Do you want to play? Does Ropey have Xbox?
and I fumbled.
PS4.
I fumbled.
That fumble was harsh.
Listen. It was 14 to 3. I got sacked and I got a fumble for a touchdown. That brought him back into the game. He went for 2, made it a 1-score game or a field goal game. I got the ball back. I couldn't punch it in, which happens sometimes, especially in this game. It's really difficult to score in the red zone. And I ran out of bounds one play. That was more so the lag from the TV.
Yeah.
I could have had a touchdown, yes, but I didn't. And I left a small opening for him, and he drove down the field. I couldn't get a stop, and he won.
He played out all game, and then hit you with the seam, man.
We've talked many times before about Madden Challenge games, and old school Madden Challenge games were 2-minute quarters. And we always would say that like the scary part about playing a Madden Challenge game is you could be RG, you could be Problem, you could be the greatest player in the history of the world, but the ultimate equalizer is possessions. And that game came down to possessions. Like, I just got out possession. I got outbeat. I didn't execute properly in the second half. I had a commanding lead, 14-3 with the ball, and I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
So Gibbs' sweat level went from 35 to 95 in
Saturation levels were
2
high.
minutes.
Saturation levels were
Super
high.
saturated.
You had him on the ropes, though, man.
Right?
On the ropes. You had the commanding.
I was not at the event. I actually haven't even seen the game. I just heard about the fumble.
Big man celebration.
That's all I know.
Crazy.
Shout out to the Goo in the house.
There's the goo.
Gibbs, question last mailbag question for Gibbs. Best coverage out of the 46 playbook. So it's like there's a coverage play you like out of it.
You could go big. You could go big nickel bear and go cover 3. It's really good, and I like it because you can drop all your linebackers in the zones and then baseline twice. So you have 3 hooks, 2 flats, 3 deeps. And then you'll have 3 pass rushers. And you can really send some really nice pressure from it from either side of the formation from any play. That's the very key. So I would take a look at the big nickel bear in the 46 playbook. I want to dive into the 46 playbook a little bit coming up. I'm going to need to get the 46 playbook from a guy I know. From
this guy.
From the Goo.
The
Goo's going to need to hook me up with that. But I want to break it down. I feel like it needs to get some respect again, some recognition.
I think it's going to. I have that funny feeling.
Yeah.
Goo.
Enough on that.
Question for you.
I see what you did there.
One offensive player, not named DeAndre Hopkins, who's apparently the best receiver in the game, and one defensive player.
Camera.
The teams, right? So this Brandon Marshall. I don't know if you have stacked Brandon Marshall up.
Thanks.
He is a boss. I think he is now the best receiver in the game. Personally, you put him up next to Steven Jackson, and he is pound for pound right there with your Vincent Jackson.
Yep.
Pound for pound right there. So that is my guy. Also, Cam Chancellor. I was rocking his 94 item before he even came out, before the Team of the Year even came out, and so he just went right in there. I've liked him over the lot and over, let me see, who was the other option?
Sean
Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have him over at free safety number two actually, Sean Taylor, but
On the kill squad.
yep.
So
on the kill squad.
do we hit start here?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I think the Goo's plugged in.
Yep.
Goo.
We need to find you an opponent in the chat, and then Gibbs and I will
Commentate this?
we'll
Who wants to play the
commentate it
Goo?
over. Is it going to be the Team of the Year squad?
It's the full Team of the Year squad, offense and defense.
Oh,
Let's
goo.
go.
Does Wolfman want to get sacrificed?
Do we want?
Who wants to get sacrificed?
We could sacrifice Wolfman. No, we wouldn't want to do that to the goo.
Who should we?
Yeah, I mean, my menus are tight.
His menu game's on point.
All right, guys, you guys had a great opportunity. Not that you don't see us enough on the MUTcast, other shows and stuff, but you got a spot right here. Ask the goo. Any questions for the goo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll read them through the chat.
I will do what I can. Tell you what.
See, girl says I'll play the goo. Chat, Uncle Momo, who's chatting in the chat. Okay, something about Blitz tickets.
Blitz tickets.
He wants to should I keep Blitz tickets?
Oh no, launch them.
Okay, there you
Get
go.
rid of them.
Yeah.
Shout out for the follow from Long Ball Larry. Appreciate it, Long Ball.
Journey 3. Yeah, Journey 3. We know that. We know you need it.
J. Reed Vic? I would reward J. Reed Vic with a
We
game.
know you need it.
J. Reed
We know
Vic.
you
Let's
like
get
it.
J. Reed Vic a game. Is J. Reed on Xbox? I say J. Reed Vic. He's an oldie but a goodie. Look
Yeah,
at this
I think
squad.
it's J. Reed Vic 7 is his gamer
Squad
tag.
up. Squad up.
Let me know I can put the screen down at all.
I unfortunately cannot compare players for you tonight on my screen. There's some glitchy ones there in the back. I don't want to show off inadvertently. So we'll just stay on the lineup screens there.
Boom, boom.
If we can, please.
Gibbs. You got Russell Wilson here, Doug Martin, Tyler Lockett. I mean,
Yeah.
do we let the goo add a couple dudes?
No.
Or this
Nope.
is his strict Team of the Year challenge?
This is it. Team of the Year challenge.
Gotta do it straight up.
Yeah,
Team
he's
of the
not
Year.
going anywhere else. He can play with Ndamukong too. That's
Okay,
fair.
can I have Sue and Shazier?
And Woodson. Yeah, and Woodson.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, you need an extra corner.
You need an extra corner, so
Yeah.
that's fair.
excellent.
That's it.
Specialist
All right.
we got here, we're good.
Dude, the Hecka is no joke.
No, hecka. The hecka.
And you can have.
He scares the heck out of
And
me.
you can have David Johnson, halfback.
Yes, I wanted to kind of feature him.
Yeah, he's a new
little
item.
bit. Yeah,
He's a new
and
item. We're big
is
fans.
amazing.
We're big fans of what David.
Bring it on, says J. Reed Vic. Let's do it.
All right,
get a
let's
game.
see if we can find a game against J. Reed Vic 7. Is his
J. Reed
gamer
Vic
tag.
is an old school guy.
Longtime gamer. He works hard on his game. He's
Very hard.
He's pretty solid.
So we just doing seasons?
Play a friend. See if you can get him on your friends, or might have to add him. I can block it too.
Yeah, we probably gotta add him.
See if we can add him.
Yeah, just change it out.
Put that up. Remember, guys, make sure to follow the old channel.
Follow.
We go live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And that's what's up.
So we gotta add it.
Do we know who?
Yeah, it's J. Reed Vic
7.
7.
Letter J. We'll reward a longtime follower.
Long time.
And if we can't get him quickly, we'll just...
All right, go.
so J.
Really important question from the chat. J.
Go.
Reed. All right. So J. Reed, what is it right here? J. Reed Vic 7.
Is it hold fast? Is it hold fast hopes question?
Where? No,
Who
it's
has
not.
a better beard? Is that his question?
No.
It's the Browns question.
Were you beard bombing before the show?
I did not beard bomb tonight. I wanted to come in with a off the street look, you know. Didn't want to look too
Too
All right.
fancy.
J. Reed Vic.
fancy for the show tonight.
J. Reed Vic, you just got a friendship request from the goo. That's maybe the best part
That's
about
real.
playing him. So hopefully it'll show up there going back in the game. But here's a great question coming from the chat. It's from Rocky Top 270. He said, Gibbs, ask him the PB and J toasted or not question. Do you like
Never. No, that's
do
not
you
even
like
a question.
PB and J better not toasted or better toasted?
I like it. Oh man, I'd love to say none of the above because I like frozen.
What?
PB and J.
What do you-
ever
what-
had
what?
that?
Well, no.
Did I just blow your minds?
What?
Just blow your minds?
What do you mean?
Serial killer.
That's cereal. That's
So-
wow.
I like peanut butter and fluff, but I haven't had it in a long time.
You know where it started is those Smuckers. They have Smuckers peanut butter
Yeah,
and jellies.
Uncrustables?
Uncrustables. Eat one frozen, and you'll know what I'm talking
Wait,
about.
but like, was the peanut butter hard or like?
It is.
It's like a. It'd be like a candy.
It's like a Reese's.
It'd be like a candy.
Frozen Reese's cup.
What would the jelly be like?
Toasted. I like toast,
Give it a
peanut
try.
butter and
I'm
toast,
telling you.
and that's toast. That's not peanut butter and jelly. I know it's technically peanut butter and jelly, but like,
Goo from Lundy's Lounge.
I know what you mean.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, hot dog's a hot dog.
See, Goo knows.
It's a hot dog.
Listen, we bring the Goo on, and he knows. He
he
already
knows the deal. He knows
J.
the
Reed
deal.
Vic.
And you don't put yellow mustard on a dog where I'm from either. You put stadium mustard on a dog where I'm
Stadium
from.
yellow mustard.
Down here, nobody knows what stadium mustard is.
You don't put
They're like,
you don't
what
put
is that?
regular
Just
mustard
like
on
French's
anyways.
yellow.
Yeah, no, it's a dark, like, maze.
Deli mustard?
Yeah, it's stadium mustard.
You gotta-
Spicy
it's
brown?
At the ballpark.
You gotta grow
Golden?
up. First of all, you gotta use spicy mustard or bust. Like, what are we?
spicy brown?
What are we? 10 years old using regular mustard, having cheese and mustard sandwiches.
Do you think the Goo can take a critique of his game if we broadcast? Are we gonna have to play?
Gonna
the
have
same
to.
game?
No,
it's
gonna.
be a-
Goo, what playbooks do you currently run at this
So I
time?
got the Saints offense and the Browns defense. And that.
What do you go with for the Saints?
Oh, man.
Mix it up a little bit.
A little
Wow.
bit of everything, man.
Your dope man says frozen Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Oh, that's not bad. Did we get him on?
Cool Whip.
Jared Vick, are we?
Shout him out if you see it.
Jared Vick. What's up, bro?
Air Jones.
Going deep.
Going real deep into the friends list.
Look at that.
Where is he?
Kid 13th. First guy I ever played Madden Ultimate Team with in 2010. Shout out.
Kid 13th.
You got no friend request notification.
No friend request yet, guys.
All right. Give it 30 more seconds, and then we'll just go with a right now.
Random
No.
rank.
A ranked game.
Someone will match up against the goo. Do. All right, let's scroll through.
Give it one more look. Sorry, Jay Reed. This is probably the toughest part of the week.
This is the toughest part every
This
game.
is the logistics right here, man. This is the tech stuff.
I'm guessing that he's not going to show up.
Have you played any games with the Team of the Year squad yet?
Nope, this will be my first.
Kind of your first.
All right, well, we're gonna have to just play
All
a
right,
random
give
game.
it a go.
All right. Fire it
Everyone can now search. And
Yeah, that's right. Go,
Godspeed.
go. Ready up here, boys.
yeah, people will be hitting the A button. Good luck, boys.
Oh. Yeah. Frozen
When
grapes.
does it happen?
Frozen
grapes.
There you go. Oh, that's. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try that again here. Live
Gibbs, how
television.
would you beat the mic scrape? That's my main question. Would you? What are 3 things you can do to pick up the mic scrape? MStack already hooked us up with like 7 ways to pick it up. It's in the Brain Trust, and if anybody wants that, I'll send it to them
First
because
foremost,
that's just good to have.
Gun ace will be your best friend. Because you get the tight ends. So if you block all tight ends, you're going to have a 7-man offensive line. That's going to be very helpful. You could even take it a step further and put extra tackles in at tight end, and so you really would have a 7-man offensive line. I would say the best way to do it outside of that would be just go gun play action plays. Run that. In a combination, use motion to pick up the block, the blitzers. So I would motion a receiver from the slot, and I would snap that receiver directly in that right A gap where the pressure's coming in. The motion receiver is going to definitely chip the defender, the tackle or the tight end on that side of the field. If you keep them in the block as well, they'll pick up the edge pressure coming from the outside pass rush. That's how you're going to pick it up. Listen, you have to commit a lot of resources to it to stop it, but that's also because most times people are sending 6 people from the mic scrape right now.
Goo is a large football fan. TX Whispers, email me. If anybody's sub tonight, email me, ZFarls at MaddenTips.com. I'm going to send out the Tweezy stuff again after the game. But
Show me a stream team
if
logo.
you need more.
Oh, that would be so clutch.
Show me a stream
Right on
team
the-
logo.
Are there any playbooks with inside zone and gun split close? No, but there's fullback inside in the Steelers and 1 or 2 others. Shira likes the trips tight end to pick up the pressure.
Absolutely. Trips tight end, what a great set to do it because you have the tight end. And what's really nice about it is you can block the tight end and the halfback, and then the fact that you have all 3 receivers on one side of the field is great for flooding those zone blitzes. So, great tip right there flown in from Shira.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Team of the year.
Goo in the Doo-Doo Browns jerseys, playing BC Eagles 23-13.
Have you seen the stats on this locket?
Yeah, 97 cheddar. Very fast guy. Very fast man. You like him?
Oh yeah.
You're about to find out.
We'll see.
You're about to find out.
Didn't give me a chance right there.
There was MUT rewards, I believe.
There were a lot of MUT rewards.
Goo, can you talk a little bit about, as we get into this game real quick, about the guys that can go, if they're in the Madden Bowl area, about that link on the MUT channel?
Yeah, so anybody out there in the San Fran area or even close by, if you can, provide travel and stay, come on down and see us. Check those links that we had on Twitter and sign up. It's a whole website basically. Just go and add in your information and they'll get back to you with a spot. From what I'm hearing, there's plenty of spots still open
If you can make it to San Fran,
right? I know. You know who is D Stu.
I told you.
I got D Stu in. D Stu signed up. D Stu's coming to the Madden Bowl.
Ask Gibbs who had D Stu's back.
That's right.
I was
Let's
like, yo,
go.
did you get D Stu?
So usually second and inches, I like to just freaking take a chance, but we're gonna go with the
speed out.
Top here.
Okay.
Oh!
Brandon Marshall looking
Brandon
fast.
Marshall.
And that's why you go the speed out against man-to-man cover 0 blitz. Fact. Goo making good reads out there.
Thank you,
Team
sir.
of the year,
Thank
B
you, sir.
Marsh.
Start with a little fullback dive, a little tabletop,
Well, it's not easy. It's not easy, boys.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, look at that.
He ran over Storm Brave. He got burnt. He got burnt real bad.
Roasted. Don't miss this field goal, this extra point like that.
Yeah.
Goo, who was the most impressive player to you at the Madden Challenge from what you saw?
Oh man, D Jones. How I loved how he came at us with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he
I
was
loved
not
it when he
pleased.
looked us in the eye. I mean, I love that stuff, man, because we did indeed overlook D Jones. I love how he stormed through there. He's 3-0, and walked out of there with his head held high. And I think a lot of people sure know his name now.
Yeah.
Oh, he
I
was
won't forget
confident.
it. Jay Reed, if you were to press against that route, so Goo just used the speed out right there. If you called 2-man under and then you press, the timing gets off. So then to beat it, so once it's pressed, then you got to motion it, and then they could always drop a flat. So it's a chess match with that route, but that's a great route, and it's in a lot of playbooks. It's one you want to have for your arsenal.
TJ in the chat, he says, why did you guys ruin every promo since Black Friday? Just mad. He's just
Trying to top
mad, you know?
ourselves with every one at this point.
Oh. Who is that?
Who's he
Ivory?
running? Chris Ivory.
Listen, I think it's really cool that they added the superlatives this year. That's extra content that you haven't seen years past. You got Team of the Year now to help and grind. You got
What I like
extra
about
journeys.
superlatives, it got us a few items that you wouldn't normally have seen, right? Jordy
Right.
Nelson, once he got injured,
Really
was
great
a
to
guy
see
you
that.
might not have seen. We also got Victor Cruz for me that I thought was really cool.
The Jordy's
Well,
really good too, right? Like really good.
He's better than his throwback. He goes up a little bit. I would maybe not pay extra yet, but I do like him. He had the corner, but he couldn't get there. Muhammad Wilkerson, who we mentioned, right now, what'd you say, for 160?
More than that. No, he was way more than that. Right now, Goose, so he's in the Baltimore playbook, maybe the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. Right now, watch out for 4 verticals if he quick audibles. Yeah, there's the verticals. That's the verticals.
Ew.
You can live with that. That's disgusting. There's the verticals right there. That's not even. Ugh. Yuck. Ugh.
I had him over there. I just wanted to make sure his check down was covered, which I had him. But he made a nice throw there.
What up, Jay Bax?
Let's see what they do on first down following that huge
The Goo on defense here. User and DeMarcus Wade's got a route across the middle. Can't get there, but does lay a big hit on Martavis Bryant coming across. Bryant, 3 items this year. Some really good ones for the cost. Fast, good spec, very tall, and
You don't get the premium stats with the Bryant, but you almost get there. He gets a guy that's like really a valuable player underneath, and he's also pretty tall. Some good height. 2nd and 5.
okay. And there's the Woodson coming up big, and
Woodson in the slide.
Was that a curl he ran? What did he run there? He ran. That was either a grossly underthrown ball, or that route was supposed to be a quick. No, he threw that way too soon.
so it is a full Team of the Year squad. The only thing is he has like 2 extra guys, because there's only 2 corners, so he had to add an extra corner, and then he added an extra halfback
Yeah,
to go with Doug Martin.
sorry, not sorry.
So, fair move.
Little
But that's
Gilgamesh?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Little
Oh, he's open.
Oh,
He's got
he's-
B. Can you just lob one to DeAndre?
Yeah, he's going cover
Yeah.
You want
0.
that?
Yeah, he just chuck one to
Saints flood
DeAndre.
works.
Yeah, Saints flood. DeAndre, let's go.
Yeah, Reed Rhino says yes, bombed Hopkins. Let's find him. All right, there he is. He's in
Yeah,
cover
just
2-man.
chuck it to B.
It's still cool. It'll be fun.
Yeah, try and wait as long as you can.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, block shed.
Got him.
Oh, my.
Oh!
For
Dude.
sure.
That would have been awesome. All right, well, now just get the first.
Let me think, yeah.
3rd and 10.
Remember, this is the lineup for the Goo at this time. It's 3rd and 10. That's next week's lineup. Here's his defense, and here is his offense.
Give him a little flood. A little floody flood. Little speedy locket.
This week in Madden show 180. He's got the throw it slightly early. Lockett. Wilson. 1 for 4. The Goo gonna punt. Goo's gonna play solid D.
It's been taking care of me here so far.
Have you ever played AJ?
I have not. Well, actually,
We should set that up.
We should. Because
We
last
should
time I
teach the
played,
Goo.
It was like
Right?
2013.
Oh, that's a good punt.
Come on.
Come on, get out.
Johnny Hecka.
Imagine if we taught the Goo everything we know, and then just be like, yeah, AJ, it's a casual game between you and a casual player.
AJ's like, casual? Did I hear casual? I'm in.
what if
Don't
he's
mind the camera.
What if he's watching right now?
He's not
mind the
watching. He's
channel.
playing Hearthstone.
He
Right
could be watching.
He's probably playing Hearth.
Yeah, could be. There it is. Oh, Goo, user.
Little drag right
getting
there.
loose.
Samuel Watkins.
Slayer wants one more lob to Hopkins next drive.
Oh, yeah.
We could get that too.
We should do one per drive, I think. Tyler Eifert, yeah.
Goo, what's your
pretty
defensive
nice.
playbook?
I got the Browns going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think
101. That's a.
Oh, Sammy
Wait.
Watkins?
No,
who is
I
that?
hate those because I always think I have them.
Oh, wow,
Jarvis
Landry.
yeah.
See, there's a superlative
Best
for you
hands.
guys.
Best hands winner.
Come
I
on.
see it. We're gonna bring some heat.
OS William knows. AJ got him re-addicted to Hearthstone. OS, what deck are you running? I'm still running Warrior Control. Great deck. 1st and 10.
He's over midfield. He's in the strong normal. He's got a little auto motion, definitely a slant across the middle on the auto motion. Sherman can't catch up to.
Can't slow those crosses down.
Yeah, the auto motion routes really do a nice job against the cover ones of the world. Really any man-to-man. The key, though, is that they give you a read.
Old Reed.
He obviously knows that I'm sitting in this man, so switch it up here a little bit.
Ebert wants to Hearth.
Ebert 42.
Yeah,
Oldie but a goodie.
Hearth.
That's zone.
What if we just started playing? What if we just started casting Hearth, like go rogue on it?
Chow probably hate it, but other than that, it wouldn't be bad. The 30 people that did. might like it.
2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, end of the first quarter here for the Goo. Taking a look at his full Team of the Year squad.
I think it's Clay Matthews.
Needs to
at
come
middle
up with a
linebacker.
play, though.
Goo, as his play unfolds, let it unfold.
Oh, corner.
He missed it, but he also got
Yeah, the
that.
corner.
This is actually a really good question from Football 10118. Says, I have a question. Why are the prices going up right now in Team of the Year?
Ooh,
Do you have any idea, like,
Are they kinda,
insight
like,
as why it's
setting
happened?
still, or-
Yeah. Are they still like not set?
man, that's a good question. If they're still going up right now, I suspect. I mean, everybody's probably sitting out there rolling and flipping and rolling right now. You know, so this is a prime time. Everybody's at home right now, right? Everybody's at home flipping. The time to really catch them nice and low is going to be during the day when people are really out trying to do each other and undercut each other. Sitting at home, but so that would be my guess right now. The other thing is, I did let it slip that this is a limited time engagement. Team of the Year is very limited time, so that could be another reason. And there's some good items out there, I can tell you.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to get the Hopkins
Gotta get the
I'm gonna
and the Reggie Nelson.
Want the Hopkins.
All right, 3rd and goal. Goo, watch out for a corner out to that right
Yeah,
side.
watch out for the angle. Quick.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, pick it off.
Go, baby.
Akeem,
Get
go.
outside.
Get to the numbers.
Get to the
So
numbers.
right now, your corners are stepping up for you.
Not bad.
Coming up big for that Saints offense, the Goo. Remember, at corner, he's got Talib Team of the Year, Shermanator, and he added a little Charles Woodson for a little depth.
He's gonna bring the heat here. He's obviously mad what he just did. So
Speedy Walrus, I have 2.7 million. Do I buy a team now or wait?
Little screen.
Set it up.
Get out there, Juggernaut.
Oh,
Come
might have got it
on.
back in
No
there.
blocking at
Juggernaut.
All right, we're not giving up on the ground game here.
So, Goo, when you play the game, are you more so like you're trying to win in a blowout fashion, or you're just trying to like get a lead, ball control, get out of here with a George?
I get out of here with the George. I like playing like a coach. I actually.
Oh,
man,
my
nice pancakes.
goodness.
Get out of here
Oh,
with
the Doug.
almost
The
got
Doug.
out of there.
Who was that?
Doug Martin.
No, Iapati.
Hey, listen, there you go.
Yeah.
Such a good
Run blocker, impact block.
So I definitely like to run the ball. I want to run the ball. I want to control the clock. I want to get a lead and then just run you into the dirt. Midwest football, Ohio Power Eye football, man. That's where I'm from. So.
The Goo is indeed wearing a Millennium Falcon shirt.
Yes, he is.
Ty Webb was wondering. He likes it.
Brilliant freighter.
That's right. What were we saying today about the Millennium? It looks bad on the outside, but there's a lot of upgraded parts on the inside.
That's the rumor. RX Flerick, thank you for the follow on the channel.
Goo, here's a question. I think a lot of people might have because you're the community manager. You're the MUTGuru. What's your favorite part about being the MUTGuru?
Go Hobby. Oh man, just I tell you the team, man, the team being around you guys, working with you guys, and doing what we do, being from the community, and basically.
Chuck one to Hopkins.
All right. Basically doing what we used to just chill and do on the couch a couple years ago, you know what I mean? And now I do it for a living. Now I get to interact with the community on a daily basis as a whole, you know? I mean, that's nice. I meant to feather that just a tad more than it was.
For the guys that you interact with currently, how can one, aside from just playing the game, get on the track? And then how can they also help you out? You have game changers that help you out. How can other guys that are in the community that are young and want to be helpful? Like, what's the best approach? Is it just, hey, guys, start making a YouTube channel, be consistent with it, then start sending me content, and you'll get noticed? Like, it'll take some time to build up, but is that helpful for you? What's the most helpful thing somebody could do to help you out and become part of the community?
All right, so I tell you what I did was I just started answering questions. I picked up any question that I saw that was answered to the EA channel, asked to the EA channel, and wasn't answered. I just pop in there and just be helpful.
And what you did? So every tweet you saw, you just clicked on it and asked Team of the Year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's basically how it started, and then it's got into streaming, it got into making YouTube videos. We're very active on the forums and whatnot. So.
You started helping us back in the day, I remember. I mean, and to go off that point, what he was saying, like you would just look and help people answer questions. He came to us when it was Madden Bible, Madden Tips days, and he just said, hey, I can see like you guys don't have anything when it comes to MUT. I'd really love to provide some tips for you guys. So we didn't have a MUT guy. Yep. We were like, all right, sure, Goo. All right, go ahead. You weren't the Goo then.
Right?
You were always the Goo, but, he missed it. He missed the slot.
Yeah. He had a
Another
TD.
one of those. That's two times.
I think something that's interesting is, like, the Goo just pointed out the guy that he first ever played MUT with on Xbox. Like, that's something super important is, like, he... Oh, Clay.
Clay's got a pancake, too.
He's going. Look at that. Oh, that hair flowing in the wind.
Like, you come up with certain guys, like, you treat those guys well. Like, Mateo, like, you guys did a show together. You know the first guy you still played with. Like, all the guys that you're on sites with, those are all community guys that you all elevate each other by making each other better. Not, like, arguing, not talking trash all day, but, like, really helping each other get better. Like, Ropey, like, those are guys, as you see them go forward, they're going to have to all work together. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole part of the community. It really is.
It may sound cheesy, man, but be positive. You know, be positive in your tone on Twitter.
Go.
Oh, I thought you were going to spin. I thought he was going to spin.
I was going to give him the hesitation spin. You know, be positive in your feedback. Be constructive in your feedback. Be thorough and concise in your feedback. I mean, just don't throw the word trash out there. I mean, you know, that's I tell you, I'm hungry for feedback. I'm hungry to pass it along. You know, so you know, please do.
I'll say that there's a lot of people that I ask for feedback, and then there's certain guys that can really deliver the depth that we're looking for, and we got to teach guys to give better feedback. Because I sat with Rex all day, and he could not be more adamant about getting great feedback from the community, asking questions, bringing in guys that can help him improve the game. He's so open to it, like I've never seen anybody before. But you need to be able to communicate your issues with the game, like so that he can actually do something about it, not just like have to wade through a lot of it. So I still, to this day, say it. If you ever have feedback about the game, as much detail as possible, because like RG said, like we need to be able to reproduce whatever's happening. ZFarls at MaddenTips.com. Send it. If it's good feedback, I promise you, I go to the net for it. I don't. If it's an email that took you 2 minutes, that's not that valuable. If it took you an hour, I promise that hour is not a waste. And I'm talking, you spaced it out, you used periods, you used like appropriate paragraph spacing, like you would do a homework assignment. If you spend an hour on it, it's not going to go to waste. It's not going to go to my email. And it's not going to not be read. Like I promise you, if it's good feedback and it's something that they could actually help with, I will bring it. I will at least say to Rex. He might tell me like, get out of the elevator. Why did you follow me in here? But I'll be like, no, Johnny Fly 43 actually has a really good point. He says when he does X, comma, this happens and is able to reproduce it by doing these 3 steps. He would like to see you guys fix it by potentially doing this, or you could do it by fixing that. And like that's super important.
And I almost feel unfair saying like be positive, too. It's just about there's nothing wrong with being passionate or being angry about something. I'm not even saying that. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's just how you convey it. It's how you explain it to somebody. It's how you break it down.
Pretend they're a real person that you're talking to, because you really are. Because I can't go.
Well, going off of what you said there, you take the time to do it, right? So if you come and give feedback to us and it took you 2 minutes or 1 minute to give feedback, maybe it will be good feedback. Most likely, the time you put in
the detail. Though,
well, no, it's the effort that goes into the feedback you're trying to provide. Like if you don't care enough to put the detail in and give it to us, and we want to go and make sure that it gets in the right hands and it's that good information that we want, we got to make sure that it's the right information, because there's only so much time in the day for everybody to sift through everything. So if you make it easier for us to deliver that information, it makes everything better for everybody.
And that's one thing too is you don't have to give feedback. That's totally your prerogative. Like there's no
he's out of here.
There's no requirement for you to give feedback.
Correct.
I'm saying like you guys that are the 600 people watching this, like you are the elite of the elite. You're the only people that know about this thing that's happening, and you guys are the people that go the extra mile, and that's why you're in this community. In my opinion, like it's the reason that you're here. Like you really like the game that much, so. You don't have to, and they have people that go into streams and they interact and they look for feedback, and they have other ways to get feedback and everything. But if you want your voice to be heard, like we can bring it in.
The hardest thing too in there, and this took me a very long time to understand. And this is everyone that's for the most part watching the stream right now. There's 600 people, right? So. This is actually something that Lineal has said to us as well, right? So he's in the chat right now. Is that there's probably 60 people. There's probably out of the 600 people, there's probably 60 people, if that, chatting in the chat, right? And there's 500 people just watching. I would say, looking at the Madden landscape as a whole, all the millions of people that play the game every year, these 500 people are in the top 1% of the best Madden players in the world. And it's really hard to think that, because there's probably some players in here that, I'm terrible, trust me. But the fact that you're out seeking, you're watching, and you're, whether you believe it or not, you are one of the better players. So the feedback that you have, or the thoughts you have, or the opinions you have of this game are probably valuable to us and to the team that's making the game that you love. So don't discredit yourself, because I know it's really hard sometimes to have the confidence to do that. Been there, done that, totally. But just know that you guys have valuable opinions.
The Goo with 4 picks in the first half.
Not bad. That's elite everywhere.
Pretty nice. This game will be up tomorrow on youtube.com/ZFarls. Make sure to check it out. Tomorrow, there's a lot of tips on there. We'll break up some of the clips from the show. Tonight, we taught you how to pick up pressure. We talked about the Madden challenge. We talked about who's worth it, in our opinion, so far in the team of the year, depending on the cost. We did a lot.
Real quick, no. So free nanos _ he got timed out. I wish he didn't get timed out, but that's okay. So he said is saying team of the year sucks. constructive feedback.
No.
Sure, if that's how you really feel, that's totally fine. But what I would really like to know more of is why do you really think, like, if you really think that's what it is?
If you're like, I
Tell
wish
us.
if Russell Wilson had a 92 short accuracy, because I believe, in my opinion, his progression should have gone at this rate. And if you look at these other 3 items, they had this similar progression. So I expected Russell to go to here.
Right.
Then they can at least say, oh, he's right. Or,
Right.
no, that's not how it works. And then he can
Right.
say, oh, well, I think it should work that way. Okay,
I mean,
agree to disagree. You
That's
know?
an opinion, not really feedback.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Right.
So tell me why it sucks. Give
We want to know why it
Give
sucks.
me 6 words. Give me 140 characters of why it sucked. I mean, if you can sum it up, give me 2 tweets. I don't care, but I mean,
Email
just
me.
break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And
You know
I'll
what I mean?
yell it at you.
Yeah, like that's the important part. Is like you can say it sucks, and that's no problem. You're allowed to have your opinion. Everyone is.
And we respect that,
But
too.
we really want to know why. Because like if you don't tell us why, you,
Oh, that time I did it on purpose just to please you guys.
okay, that's a goo problem.
That was no.
That's twice it's happened now. That's a goo
That was
problem.
purposeful.
That's a goo problem. But
That was still almost
'Cause I
going to be a
almost-
touchdown. It was almost going to be not just with Ware, but with the guy you pitched it to also.
That's. I
Yeah.
did see him back there. All right, you won't believe me.
No, he was there. There was definitely a guy there. I'm with you. I'm
Totally
with
on
you.
purpose. To honor the tight end J.J. Watt, game tying pitch. Yikes!
I'm not sure. There's always more. So for example, like Gronk didn't get Team of the Year, but Gronk, I believe his Football Outsiders is going to come out Friday. So that's an area where if a guy didn't get an item, he might not be done. There might be more. He might have already had a lot of items, like a Mariota. Obviously, he's not really Team of the Year level, but he's already had quite a few. So
6'3"
those are always
frame.
things to keep in mind. Like you always gotta kind of be thinking big picture.
So this is the first time I've used that D-Ware. In past Madden Ultimate Team, D-Ware is one of my favorite players to put on the end because he typically has acceleration. Do you guys know an acceleration stat on him?
95, 97. He's dope.
Come on,
He's
come on.
fire. His BCA was fire.
So in general though, let's be you see the feedback, and I'm seeing this as a theme now from multiple people, and it comes right here from TJ, and this is okay. He's giving us it sucks cause okay great. He said you barely upgraded from old player items. They should have been like 95, 97 last year. Like okay, that's now gives the ammo. This is the feedback. This is what the feedback. This is what the community is saying. So like listen, that's all we want. That's all we need, and we can help.
And I saw yeah, absolutely, and I mean that is totally valid feedback. Absolutely. So, I think that just the progression has slowed for these players a little bit. Look at this guy.
He fake punted,
This guy.
and he's
No, he is definitely quitting after this. Definitely quitting after that one. So
Just bomb it to Hopkins.
Bomb
Take a shot. Give me the control.
Just 4
Take
straight
it
bombs to Hopkins.
All right. I was gonna do it.
no!
Please,
Wow.
one bomb, please.
This right here, guys, this could be a whole new show. We're not like playing competitively. We're just like playing and just chatting.
Yeah, I know.
Chatting in the chat.
Chatting and playing and chatting.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying? I can't remember what my thought I was going to finish that.
Get
But
4
anyway,
picks,
keep sending the feedback. It's legit. It's valid. We're taking a look. Like I was saying about the player progression, we're not starting the year with a 2-star 99 Shannon Sharp anymore. You know what I mean? Those days are gone. We got to have a slower build up. Just a progression that makes more sense towards the end of the year, so there's just not 99s floating around absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the explanation.
So there's a question too, like someone from the chat says, Autumn Skies, and I think there's a lot of questions like this that people have. Like, can you guys just start tweeting out who the Chef Their Stars will be? Like, we can't, like you can't just do it until it's ready.
Yeah,
Right?
unfortunately, that's one of the biggest no-nos is tweeting out the content before it's ready, before I'm allowed to announce it, which is the day of. And I mean, that's
right.
And I would love to, as a fan, as a community member, give you guys the inside scoop early, but we just cannot do that. So we're biting at the chomp as much as you guys are for this stuff. I wanted to release Team of the Year a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
9 years ago.
I mean,
Last
so
month.
We're there and excited with you guys. Just gotta follow the rules like everybody else.
Question from Brady. I've been playing guys that pass a lot but do a lot of zone runs. How can you prepare for the zone run but prepare for it downfield? You want to get past defense first and then figure out an adjustment and a setup that then allows you to stop the run from there. You don't want to stop the run and then try and stop the pass deep. You want to stop the pass deep and then figure out some line configuration or some user or some gap that allows you to stop the run.
Yeah, you want to definitely look at it and say, I would say that the safer thing to do is like give up the run to stop the deep pass, and then once you start like seeing your opponent isn't going deep down,
RB me
isn't going deep downfield, then it'd be safe to start bringing extra guys in the box to stop the run.
So you had 4 picks in that game.
1 from C-Dub. How many from the Talib?
Talib, I think, got 3 of those puppies.
Talib, like, was out of his mind.
No. He had 2. Clay Matthews had 1.
Gotcha.
That's what it was.
But Talib looked good.
Yeah, definitely.
He was breaking down on plays that was nice to see.
Yeah, I was starting to play zone there after a while because I was sitting in man for most of the first part of the game, and he was moving the ball on me pretty good, so I switched it up, and Talib was sitting in that cover 4 pretty nicely.
Boom.
Good defensive tackle and a playbook for the 4-3. I would say... It's a good question. It really depends if you want a run stuffer or a pass rusher. That's the other thing. Same thing with feedback, like asking a good question so you get a good answer. Hey, I want to play zone coverage. I have 100K to spend. Who's a good D tackle?
Can you? Okay, we got this. That's valuable. Just 600 people in the chat. Break down what a good question is, and this is important not just to ask us. This is something that can help you everywhere in your life.
Yeah, it's kind of a life tip, right? Because a bad question is going to get a bad answer because they don't have people and people are going to avoid the questions. You might think, well, I don't want to ask too specific of a question in case the person I'm asking doesn't know the answer, but the person that you're asking, they need to know. Okay, so for a mud item specifically, hey, I need a bad question is I need a good corner.
I could give you a million corners, Farls.
Yep, a lot of good corners.
Sherman,
There's a lot of
Talib.
good corners, but it doesn't matter what I think. It's what do you need. So I need a good corner. I play zone coverage. I have 100K to spend. I looked at Sherman and I looked at Darby. What do you think? I'm leaning towards Sherman. What do you think?
So now I can analyze that. So I can take that.
I can look at the cost. I can look at you've done some research and you're not just because then I know that you actually care about it and you actually are thinking about it, and then I'll be able to say, hey, I think Darby's actually better for man. You should probably go with Sherman if you're zone like you say, and then you say that's where I was leaning. Just wanted to run it by you.
Right.
And then that's how good questions are asked. You have to give the range, give the position, give the playbook, give your style, whatever factors you care about. Because if you just say, hey, who's a good corner? I'm going to say Night Train Lane. And then you're going to have to tweet me back and say, I only have 100K.
Right.
And then I'm going to say, like, I don't have time for this guy. Like, he doesn't care, clearly. I can't care if he doesn't care. But if you say, hey, man, I got 100K. I play zone coverage. I'm looking at the new team of the week, David Amerson. Do you think he's better than the Marcus Peters? I'm leaning towards Peters. I would say, all things considered, if you like press, maybe you go with Amerson. If you need the height and you think people are going to go for one-on-one, go with the Peters. And then you can say, okay, at least like you gave me your feedback. Yeah.
I got a perfect example in the chat of a question that we can improve. So this comes in from Monachino13. He says, what matters more, play rec or speed? So, okay, so this is the way we could break that down. We can't give you a good answer because we don't know the specifics.
What
so
position?
you say play rec or speed. What's more important? I'm just going to say speed, but because ultimately overall, as looking at Madden as a whole, speed's most important there. But if you said, hey guys, hey Goo, Farls, Gibbs, I need to know what's more important for between play rec or speed. I'm looking at outside linebackers. This outside linebacker plays nickel 3-3-5 formation for me, and I specifically play a lot of zone coverage, and I need a linebacker to fill that role. I'm now going to say play recognition in zone coverage like combination is more important in that area than just pure speed. So the more details you can give around those questions, the more of a detailed answer we can give back.
What if they say tight end?
Right.
Like,
well, if the tight end, it's speed.
Obviously.
Right. If it's quarterback, it's speed. Halfback, it's speed.
Right. Indeed. Cool. Shout out to Ropey in the building, guys. Ropey, click on that name right there. Ropey30, the guy with the sword in the chat. You can follow his Twitch from here. His YouTube's under the same title. Guy making some really good tips right now. Good content for you. Make sure to hit him up. He's on the stream team, so you'll see him in game quite a bit. Monty Wrecking Ball. I was wondering,
Now we're going to get people asking better questions. All right.
Yes.
How would you guys beat
But we're
cover?
going to answer them, though, now.
Cover 4 drop.
That's the thing.
We showed a scheme. I mean, if you're playing against the guy with cover 4, you got to hit the flat. You got a playmaker up the middle when the zones drop back. You got to run the ball. Yes, you can go like with the PA shot wheel if you can get time, but that's rare that it's going to work out for you. So you've got to beat it shorter and shorter across the middle.
What's the fast way to build coins up in MUT? Probably to go do the journeys, get those coins, rack them up.
Journey.
Right?
Good question from Cruise Life. What are the top 3 attributes in defensive players you're looking to use her with?
I want speed, I want hit power, and ultimately I want height.
Yeah.
And height's not even a rating, but
Right.
but height matters, so give me those ratings.
That's exactly what he said is what I'm looking for.
I'm looking for a pass rusher who gets free. What's more important, acceleration or speed? It really depends, Mr. Guess Who. If you're going for gap blitzes A and B, you're going to want acceleration plus a combination speed. You don't always want a guy that would be 96 excel and 70 speed, but you want a guy that's 96 excel, like 85 speed and up. If you're looking for a guy off the edge, it's probably more so speed than acceleration.
Portland, how important is it to back up offensive line? Portland, I don't think it's important at all, but I would carry a 6th lineman so that you could sub him in at tight end if you wanted to run the ball and get extra run block. You can't really then you can pass it to him, but it's not a good idea. But if you want to all run heavy thing, you RB sub them into tight end at the play call screen.
RadTech 1212. What do you value more in wide receiver? Speed or excel? Speed. Definitely speed.
Yeah.
Speed gives you a better burst downfield. It gives you more of a chance to break away. Acceleration gives you the first step, but I don't notice first steps really mattering as much for receivers.
Seahawks, in a free safety, what do you think about pursuit of the players you're not using?
Pretty important, especially on runs. Like a lot of times people are like, I don't know why my safety plays so well, but yeah, he's always in the game against those tosses. Like a really good safety with high pursuit against tosses plays really well in the run game.
They take better angles to
Better
the ball
angles,
carrier. Yeah. Good stuff.
What are good attributes? Last question from Notorious Luffy. What are good attributes for a pass rushing defensive tackle, Farls or Goo?
Power move, excel, Gilbert Brown.
Strength.
See, I'm not
It's
a
like
strength
strength
guy.
on the line.
Yeah.
I do like it, but to get actually off the pass, I'm gonna sub in JJ Watt.
Yeah.
I mean, naturally those dudes have strength, right? But if they're too beefy, like a Damon Harrison, like then I find them a little slow to rush.
A lot of Journey 3 questions, man. So many Journey 3 questions.
I'm
We guys know you love the Journey.
So, and also sometimes you just can't answer some questions.
I mean, that's it. You know, I hear you though. I hear you.
That's
Can't
one of
answer
them you
sometimes.
can't answer. You guys can't answer.
Goo, who do you think is the best team of the year? You said probably Hopkins or Chancellor.
That Brandon Marshall showed up for me. I actually called him out before the show here and showed up on the second play of the game for me. I stacked him up to Vincent Jackson right before he came over. Took a look at their stats, and I mean he's right there, pound for pound with that item.
Goo, tips for making coins in Madden Mobile.
Ooh, Madden Mobile question. I like it. I tell you, working the auction house is very fruitful in Madden Mobile. It is more active than the MUT auction house. I mean, purely there's a lot of players. Everybody's got a phone, but there's just activity. There's a refresh button on there that definitely helps out with you, and then also just don't miss out on those live events. Just
I
know
think
the scheduling.
in Madden Mobile, the ability to use the filters for
it's so
pricing
nice.
is like allows you to be much more pinpoint with who you want to buy and what you're willing to pay. You're able to actually, whittle it down and like keep going that little lower. Like FIFA has a similar mentality where you can really Madden's easy because you just search by buy now and you can always go up. But everybody has that where if you're willing to go the extra mile in Madden Mobile to actually type in those numbers, like you're pretty good.
Yep. So daily warm up can score you like a million coin quick sell too. They can score you 500k. So get in there and do those live events. I've seen it happen.
I've seen them.
All right, bros.
All right, until next time, dudes, remember that Tweezy in the Brain Trust hooked it
Thanks,
up this
Alex.
week. Let me see if I can find his thing. So if you're in the Brain Trust, expect to get an email. Also, you get all the old stuff, but he came in with the gun split browns, the gun doubles, and the trips tight end. So if you haven't subbed, consider it if you're looking for that higher level content. But there is some more beginner stuff in there too. We appreciate Tweezy one more time for hooking us up with that content. All right, dudes.
Follow the channel.
Follow that channel and expect big things. We'll go over the schedule one more time for Madden Challenge.
Next week.
Because this is super important, and you guys have been supporting us like crazy.
No, it's
And
so important, the fact that we need people to show up. We need people to support. It's a big week. We've been doing this show this is our 7th year, and a part of that, doing this show, is opportunities like next week where we need the community to show up, show that they're supporting this. So tell a friend, multiple friends.
They see it. They know you guys are doing great, and they're like, they would definitely want more of it, and we appreciate it, because otherwise we would look silly, because we're like, they want this, and then you guys actually show up and you do want it, and they're like, how did you know? It's like, these are our peeps,
our bros.
Quick, what matchup are you looking forward to the most? Quick.
Skimbo Shugs.
Yep.
Skimbo problem.
That's
Skimbo to get to the championship game. I know. I had to call my shot. I find that compelling.
Boog's problem. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think Mo D. Jones will be really good too.
For sure.
Does anybody give Tenacious a shot against Mo?
No.
He can be too tenacious.
Listen, I like Tenacious' game. He's a great player.
Good score.
Mo, I think, is next level. I think same thing about Problem. I think Bugs has a shot, but those are two of the top players that have ever played the game.
I feel bad too. Tenacious
Everyone's got a shot.
Probably watching this. Like,
listen, everyone has a shot to win, but
especially with the draft.
Difficult.
The draft is so crucial.
Guys, pay attention to social channels next week, too.
Yes.
Lots of giveaways coming, okay? We're going to need your participation as well in a few of those. All I can say right now, but please stay tuned to EASports_MUT. All of next week, we're going to give you play-by-play of everything you just saw there, all those games you just saw there, and be doing giveaways the whole time, too.
Can't wait, man. Eight of the best players to play Madden NFL 16, 8 of the best players in the world, all competing for a grand prize.
All right,
awesome.
We're going to chill in the chat. Hit us up with Twitter with your questions and follow those social channels. We'll be back. Lock up.
Traveling man